Alright, yo, it's your boy Yoshikidneo, and today we are back in the world of Boridil, the adventures in Boridil. The party is going to be, I'm pretty sure they're going to the Ruby Palace today to essentially help their new pal Joker with the purchase of an item, or the purchase of something. They actually don't know what any of the details are, and Joker has warned them that if they begin this job, he is going to be using them more often. So he wants to make sure that they understand kind of what's going on before they do it. Because the people he works with don't really take kindly to those that say no. But yeah, we'll see what the party does. Should be a good time.
What's the 30th chess and 7th Tarska?
So those are the dates. So chess is the month that you guys are in. Chess is the third month, aka March, essentially. So there's, if you go into your journal tab and go to lore, there is under, I believe it's under lore, rules, and handouts. You'll see a calendar handout, and there's a link to the calendar where I make tiny little session notes so that you guys can see exactly what session or what day of the calendar you're on. And speaking of the calendar, I need to retcon when that full moon was because I misread one of the labels. Your full moon is actually in 6 days from where you're currently at. So.
Okay. Well, more time to do shit then.
Exactly.
What does that mean? What
Hmm?
is the importance of the full moon? I'm missing this.
We have
In general?
Backstory.
Yeah,
okay,
because he wants to go try to
that's what I
find some
thought.
lycanthropes. But other than that, yeah, the significance is, you know, nothing really, unless you happen to be tied to the full moon, aka Saberwolf. So yeah, you'd be able to look on there. Granted, in character, you probably, I don't think any of you are astronomers. No one took the sage background for sure. So none of you know what the phases of the moon are. But if you want to research it in character, feel free. But yeah, you can look through there. I try to keep it updated at least every 2 sessions. I'll go through and, you know, show you how many days each session may have taken, or how many sessions you had in a single day. Like right now, y'all are chilling on day 30. Y'all have had, this is session number 4 on this single day.
We've been on this day for so long.
Yeah.
I know.
This day started with the raid on the camp. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
I know the specialty of this whole full moon thing. I was like wanting to bring Snoopy with me too. Hey man, you're a dog.
Yeah.
Come with me.
Close enough.
Yeah. So I if you guys end up wanting me to add different stuff to the calendar, just let me know and I can. But I kind of use it to get a general idea, because there's weather that every single day on this calendar, for my view, is actually, it tells me what the weather is and stuff like that, as well as a couple other things that I won't get into, but it's pretty cool. Pretty cool little app. So I think we will get into it. The last time we left our heroes, you guys were getting your battle plans ready to go and fight the giant cockatrice that Corgus had hired you guys to go and retrieve alive. When you got to the location where the cockatrice were kind of, you know, moseying about, eating some stone statues that they had previously petrified, you noticed that a singular one of them was a lot larger than the others. So, of course, this is your target, at least that's what you believed. But what ended up happening was when you guys started to defeat the tinier cockatrice, all of a sudden you heard a very loud roar come out from the trees. And lo and behold, a cockatrice that was at least all of these tiny ones combined started to fly through at great speeds. Just by looking into its eyes, you felt a sense of dread that could overcome all possible survival senses and cause you to become paralyzed. Luckily, unfortunately, rather, only one of you ended up becoming paralyzed, and that unfortunate victim was Snoopy. As Snoopy was going around and slicing up some of the cockatrice, once he met his gaze with that of the great cockatrice, his whole body tensed up and froze, and this made headway for another one of the cockatrice to petrify him using their beaks, which have some sort of magical effect to them that caused Snoopy to become not only paralyzed but now petrified. But with some, clever spell usage and with Saberwolf's ability to grow large and jump up and start whooping the cockatrice's ass, you guys were able to fell the beast, and you were able to inject him with the dagger that had the tranquilizer added into it. About 20 minutes passed, and Corgus came by to retrieve his bounty. He paid you guys your 2,000 gold pieces, and he actually had brought a potion that was going to be able to depetrify Snoopy, but it would take a little while. So he then said if you guys were looking for more work, if you wanted to go and do some more hunting for some really nasty creatures, come back to him in a couple days and he should have something ready for you. He left. Snoopy ended up, you guys picked up Snoopy and started to fly back to the City of Guilds. And in the meantime, the stone skin started to essentially crack and fall off, revealing Snoopy just as he was, moments before. He didn't have any recollection of what happened. He was still in combat mode. So he almost stabbed somebody, I think. but luckily, no one was hurt, and you guys explained the situation, and Snoopy is safe. You guys flew back to the City of Guilds, and as you unloaded outside of the main entrance, on your way up, Saberwolf wanted to go to Holly Oak to see if maybe you guys could find Inniscraft or get some answers of some kind. When you got there, you were met with 3 older women that were running around chasing something, and it ended up being some sort of imp, a creature of the 9 hells, a devil, that they were trying to capture, and who knows what they were going to do with it. But with Snoopy's really good nose, he was able to find the imp on top of a abandoned hut, and you guys captured the imp, gave it back to the maidens, and began talking with them. They told you they worked for Inniscraft. They didn't really tell you much about Inniscraft, except for that she was pretty much not there and wasn't going to be there for a little while, but to check back later. They then also said that they would help you guys with your issues if you helped them with theirs, and what they wanted was for you guys to go to the orphanage and pick up a little girl for adoption, as well as an additional child to bring back to them, because they wanted children, but Inniscraft wasn't allowing them to do so. So you guys were kind of like, okay, and then left. And on your way from leaving Hollyoak, someone had called out to you, and you ended up seeing this sort of cave that was built up on the side of the wall. And as you approached, you met your very first Strider, named Silk. Driders are sort of a half spider, half drow monstrosity. You guys don't know much about them, but Silk was able to tell you that a lot of folks see them as unholy beings, like something that shouldn't be possible in any sort of creation, but yet here they are. Silk told you a great deal of stuff, actually. Very helpful, and she also did some trading with you. You know that she really likes gyms, and she makes this really nice silky material that's actually a lot stronger than normal rope, and it's a lot lighter than normal rope. So you guys were able to make a trade with her to get a good amount of it, and later she had told you that she's also always looking for these giant moths because she likes to eat them, but she doesn't dare leave because there are religious figures that are trying to kill her. But luckily, she is somewhat protected from those folks for the time being. You guys headed back to Ginu Inn's Inn in order to sort of like process everything that you've just sort of taken in, as well as to distribute your new loot. And as you got there, your good friend Joker appeared and had some things to say. He told you that he wants to make sure that you understand that if you take the job that happens tonight, it's not for, one, it's not for the faint of heart, and two, it's not for those that are, I guess, law-abiding citizens, is essentially what he was saying. If you take the job, he plans to give you more jobs, and the folks that he works for don't take too kindly to those that say no. So he wanted to make sure you were doubly ready for such a task before doing it. With that, he went behind the inn, cackled, or I guess giggled or whatever, and as you went to go and see where exactly he went, he had just vanished out of thin air almost. You guys went to your room, or one of your rooms, and distributed your loot and then started to talk about what you were going to do for the rest of the day, which is where we will pick up with you guys inside of your room. Vicavor, you probably don't know a lot of what's happening, so I'll allow you guys in character or out of character, your choice, to sort of debrief him on more of the finer points. But what does the party do?
Question out of character. Did you say we? I thought I saw a message before that. Did I level up?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll worry about that for next time. I won't do it right now.
Okay.
Or I guess this. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the same thing. I didn't roll for health.
All right. Go ahead and roll for HPs then. Or if you want to take the average, do that. What do you want to do, Vicavor? Average or... Average is 5 for you, or you can roll the hit dice.
I'll roll.
Go ahead.
Where do I roll at again?
Just click the hit dice.
Actually, I might have done it. I think I might have.
Nice. You got 7.
Is there any way we can check and see if I did do it?
Yeah, hold on. I'll be able to tell you if you did or not. Just change Vicavor's HP real quick.
I already got mine done.
I think I did. I don't know if I added it.
So I remember, let's see, 1, 2, 3.
Because if I'm not
5,
mistaken,
6, 7,
I
8.
rolled. I like gambled on the roll, and it still ended up being average.
6, 7,
That's right. I remember that.
8. Yep. But for some reason, you still... Let's see, your constitution. So I think this goes away. Then 4. now we have your health formula. Oh. Yeah. Cool. And yeah, you're just missing a good portion because you haven't long rested yet since you got bit.
That's what it is. So what is my max?
Your max is 64.
Okay, cool.
And the only thing, so for you, Vicavor, level 8 is actually pretty simple. All you really have to do is either pick an ability score increase, or you can pick a feat. I don't think a Warlock, let's see, level 8. You do get another spell, but your invocations and your cantrips known stay the same. So you can pick another spell, as well as do either take 2 stat points and put them wherever you want, or you can take a feat. And yeah, you don't have to do it right now if you want to research it later. But your HP is currently set up correctly.
All right.
Yeah, I completely forgot that I need to do my feats too. I forgot to let you know. Well, for right now, I'll just grab the weapons, and I'll just focus on the feet and whatnot at some point.
Okay.
So here's a question for you guys. Half character, half. So Snoopy petrified, right? He never knew.
I'm good now.
Well, he was.
Correct.
We defeated.
Yep.
Okay. So he didn't know we got paid. Did we pay Snoopy or no?
No, he
Yeah,
knows.
Oh, he does.
By the time we divvied up, he was good.
Okay.
He made sure. He's
So,
like, oh yeah, we
I
gotta make sure we
also
get that
know that
money.
we were supposed to get paid.
I was just like, he never showed up. That much. Oh, weird. I'm just kidding.
Mm-hmm.
He trying to skim the thief of money.
I would have
Yeah, I
probably
don't
given it to him afterwards.
I'm not sure if the rogue's the one you want to piss off about
Right? He's gonna steal,
loot from.
and you'll be missing a whole coin purse of money.
True, I know.
Last thing you want to do is get attacked by a rogue while you're sleeping. It's a lot of damage.
No, I
He's
know.
just gonna- Especially a beagle, like bruh.
If I just take a dump at my shoe or
So
something.
just imagine like waking up to a beagle on your chest, snarling at you, with a dagger in his mouth.
Yeah,
Bite your throat out.
Okay, so I'll wait to choose my spell. So I don't need to do that right now.
Okay.
Just that I'm not sure what I want to do. I always make bad decisions on the spot, so.
Would it end up
Noted.
taking you too long to? Cause I know I'm definitely taking the ambush weapon feat, master feat, for sure. But I know it's probably going to take a little bit, so I'll rather just wait till after.
What do you mean it'll take a little bit to add it?
I mean, would that take long for you to add it?
No.
No,
I can
not
do
too
it while
long.
you guys RP or something.
Yeah,
But you're taking an weapon or ambush weapon.
yeah, the mastery.
I got you. Don't touch your sheet.
Aye, sir. Aye. And all I gotta do is just run to a blacksmith, and then we should be good.
This is in character. So, where were we on what we're going to do? And also Brady, what time is it?
At this point in time, it's about 5 in the afternoon.
Yeah, so we still got time to do whatever. So as of right now, we're pretty much just in the inn, discussing stuff about like up till now what we have to do.
All right. Did you guys already talk about like the new job that Joker was talking about? We haven't talked
Yeah,
about
and
it yet.
we shan't not mention his name. So that's a big thing right now.
Oh yeah, I
Try
forgot
not to
about
mention
that. Don't talk about it to other random people. He's known, or he told you guys essentially that he's thought of as a myth and would like to keep it that way.
So I think
Okay.
we dubbed him Smiles or something like that, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Yeah, like happy.
Or we can call him Giggles.
Or if you really want to be ominous, Mr. Sir.
So it was decided that we were going to be doing the job, right?
Duh,
Yeah.
we ain't no bitches.
Yeah, like we we decided because he might be somebody good to have as an ally.
Okay. I was for doing the job, just so everybody knows.
Yeah,
Sure
the
you
only
were.
other thing.
Like when he mentioned we'd be breaking the law, I was definitely at that point.
Quinn is okay as long as Vicavor doesn't burn trees.
So if trees are off limits, what is there anything else you don't want me to burn?
Just
Uh,
nature in general.
Okay. What if it
Basically,
so
our whole deal with you now is we use you as a last resort if we need fire. At this point, if we need something to be burned, we'll look right at you. At this point,
Do your
All right.
thing.
Perfect. Yeah, I can do that.
but
That's why I was going to be looking at some spells that were not centered around fire at this point.
No, don't like let that change what you want to do you.
No,
regardless.
no. I mean, I already have like a lot of higher level fire spells, so like that's why I was like, I need to get a few other things.
oh snap! I gotta run my senses still like only 5. We should be able to like run to the blacksmith because I gotta grab 2 weapons.
Did you want to do that now? And also, Saber, when do you have to be at the little dance thing? The gathering?
Well, set them for the moon, so I would assume perhaps gut feeling 6 days from now.
Question for you guys again. Were we gonna traffic those children towards those maidens?
I was wanting to actually check about that as well. After the blacksmith, we'll definitely check out the local orphanage and see if they have that girl that those maidens mentioned. Witches.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Maybe we should
just to
ask-
see how the process goes.
Yeah, maybe we should ask at the orphanage to make sure it's legit too.
See. But it shouldn't be too complicated of a set arrangement that we can make. But knowing the patterns of the people that we've met so far, we can't get something without giving something. I wouldn't be surprised if they have some sort of task for us to do randomly.
That does seem to be the common theme here.
What happened to well, I mean they did say that people are struggling with the children lately, so it shouldn't be too hard to arrange something like that. They're desperate to get the children at the orphanage, so it shouldn't be too hard, I assume. Unless there's something about that girl that they don't want us to have. That would be a
Or no.
ridiculous situation as well. I wonder what bothering is. Last time I remember, he was getting his leg fixed. Haven't got any word since.
Oh yeah, we could. Was he at the blacksmith? Is that where he went?
He ended up going to some sort of forge that specialized in warforged properties.
Maybe we should ask the innkeeper.
Yeah, I'm sure he can handle himself. Should be okay. He's a grown robot. Man robot. I don't know what he is.
A big boy.
Big boy. Yes, he's such a big boy. Oh, that sounds weird. But
I was just gonna when you said that, I was looking at around the room, like with the face, like you guys heard that, right?
But I guess, is there anything else that you guys want to do today before we get to the task at hand? I know I have to head to the blacksmith.
I'll go with you to the blacksmith.
Yeah, let's just roll as a group. Let's go to the blacksmith.
Yeah.
After that, we'll check out the orphanage, and by that time, I guess we'll just sit and chill until it's time to with a
Yeah, and then before we all have that session with that woman. Yeah, you know what I mean, right? That session, we about to get together and have some fun, some suke, you know. And if you don't know, that's a diversion without saying what I really want to say.
Okay.
I wouldn't want anybody to be suspicious of what we're going to do. So I gotta come up with a cover for what we're getting ready to do later tonight.
God.
After
All right.
this.
I'm ready to go whenever. And also, how long is a long rest again?
Oh, yeah, so another thing, Ethan, that changed is we're using the homebrew resting rules now. So a short rest is 10 minutes. You can do 2 of them per day. So long rest is
real time.
No. I mean, we could, I guess, if y'all wanted to dick around for 10 minutes during the session instead. But no, 10 minutes in-game time. So
Okay.
it's literally like a short catch your breath. The long rest is only 6 hours. 3 of it can be done doing very light activities such as taking a watch. The other 3 you have to essentially sleep, unless your character is a race that doesn't require sleep or something like that. And then there's the new full rest, which the only thing that's different about all of these things is how you get your HP back. So with the short and the long rest, the only way you get more HP is by rolling your hit die. The only way, or with the full rest, you actually just regain all of your hit points back. You don't have to roll any hit die or anything like that. So, but that one, depending on where you're at, will take a day to 3 days to complete.
Okay. All right.
Well, if there's nothing else to do around here, I guess let's head to that blacksmith real quick to see what goods they have.
Let's go.
We're whenever Bray's ready, we're heading to the.
So you head on outside, and you would remember Ginu In had told you, or has told Balrin exactly where to go, essentially. It is a place called the War Forger, and it's a little bit up the ways, so not too far from the inn that you're currently at. but if you ask him, he points you in the direction so you know where to go. So as you guys leave, it takes you probably 10 minutes to walk over there. And as you get to the location, you can see that it's a pretty large, open-aired... Neat. Thank you, babe. It's a pretty large, open-air blacksmith locale. Hold on. Yeah, that's perfect. I'll sign it later. Sorry. It is a pretty large facility, open-aired, bunch of different anvils, bunch of workbenches, and a bunch of tiny forges that all sort of surround a very large forge. You can see that most of the workers, most of these blacksmiths, are actually warforged themselves. And sitting on a sort of workbench with his legs sort of propped up and a warforge with like these special goggles that allow him to see things, or essentially magnifying goggles. You can see Balrin is there getting worked on currently.
I'll walk a big past him and give him a quick pat on his shoulder and keep on walking.
Hey guys, should be done here in a moment, but I don't want to hold you back. They said I might need a couple days of physical therapy to make sure it works perfectly.
You just take your time. No rush. We got things here.
Quinn kind of scratches his head to a warforged needing physical therapy.
I lean over towards
know,
Quinn
Calibrations and
give
stuff
him
like that.
give him a whisper. Hey, don't question it. Just let it be. He's a robot. You know, they want to feel, normal or something like that.
Is this where you needed to go for your weapon, Saber Wolf?
See, who do I talk to? To inquire about the purchase.
You talk to me. And as you turn around, there's a warforge that has the sort of like he's got the normal silvery metal chassis and stuff like that, but it's outlined with copper bits and copper plates and stuff like that. He's wearing sort of a leather getup that has mostly red coloring and a bit of like black accents to it. But for a warforged, he's got like this bulk to him that definitely makes him look muscular. But he approaches you. You can call me Gerhard, and I'll be able to help you out. What is it you're looking for?
Hello, I currently am in the shoppings for 2 new weapons. Do you happen to have a baton, like something that could retract, but like a side baton that could like retract?
So you want something that's a little more compact, something you can pull out when you need it most and then stow away for later?
Indeed, that and was wondering about the knife and dagger, or rope and dagger. I mean, sorry.
I think we can definitely help you out with the baton. What do you mean by, we sell daggers and we sell rope. Is that all you need as well?
I was wondering about something special. See, I have this material here, and I pull out the silk rope. I was wondering if you could, it's possible for you to combine this with a dagger.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, we could do that. That honestly shouldn't take too long. And the baton thing I could probably have done within an hour. Sounds pretty simple. We've already got a couple of the little things that retract. I just have to whittle it down a bit.
Ay, cabron, I love that. I would appreciate that. How much would we be talking as far as payment?
Well, are you providing your own dagger or using one of ours? If you provide your own, I could probably give you 10 gold off of it.
Ah, yeah, indeed. We could definitely do that then. I'll have to buy one from you then.
Perfect. Well, in that case, total would be, with the custom order and things like that, you're looking at about 45 gold total.
45 gold. All right. I'll take give him 45 gold.
Go ahead and just deduct it. He grabs it from you. Are there any other requests from your team here?
I kind of do the little beagle prance up. Hello, fellow traveler.
That's, I didn't know these things could talk normally.
Not normal. That's okay.
Okay, well,
Do you happen to have a kukri?
yeah, definitely. We've got all manner of weaponry. But what's a little guy like you need a deadly weapon like that for?
In case there's bad guys. You know, protect the good. That sort of thing.
Okay, well, yeah, I got one of those for you.
And I summon my mage hand and pull out my rapier and do like a little couple maneuvers for him to show him my proficiency.
Oh, well, I'll be honest, this is the first time I've ever seen a dog, especially one of your size, be able to do anything remotely close to that. He claps his hands. Very impressive.
Thank you.
But yes, I've got what you need. Do you want just one or perhaps two of them?
I think I'll be okay with one. I can't carry too much because, like you said, I'm a little dog. And I was wondering, do you guys have any manner of like, you know, exceptional weapons here?
Exceptional in terms of fine craftsmanship. All of our weapons are exceptional. Something with a little extra kick. Possibly come to terms.
Something that separates a finely crafted sword or armor to the exceptional.
I see exactly what you're
with
getting
magic or
we don't typically have the capabilities to imbue with magic, but we can make things that are a little extra deadly or protective. Although it does require somewhat rare resources, and it's not very cheap either.
what are the resources you need and how much would it cost then?
For just some special materials. For a rapier, we'd need some special metals and things like that. Things we do have on hand, but obviously they're limited supply, especially with all the stuff going on around. Our supply has been cut short with the Guisa Empire being essentially taken over.
It's understandable. And how much gold would you be asking for?
What type? Just for the rapier, probably about 2,000 gold or so.
I see. Well, if I obtain that small fortune, I may come back. Or if I find some special metals, I'm sure you'd be interested.
Oh yes, definitely. Honestly, if you were able to find these special metals, which, good luck. I don't think many people in the city besides ourselves even deal with these because they're quite a pain to get smelted just right without ruining the whole weapon or armor. But if you do, I could probably cut you a deal of at least half off.
Okay, well, I'll keep my eye out. And thank you for the cookery. How much will that set me back?
And 4 gold.
Well, thank you very much. I'll kill many bad guys with it.
But, any of your other friends need anything?
I don't need anything. Thank you, though.
Okay, you said about an hour, right?
Correct.
All right, we'll be back in an hour. Can't wait to see my new goodies.
Okay, so
while
while you guys are leaving, where do you head from here?
The orphanage.
The orphanage, from what you remember being told, is located sort of on the... the orphanage is outside in Death Row area, which you guys could cut through. You could get there walking in about 20 minutes.
Guess we're going to head out that way.
Okay. So you guys head on over towards the orphanage. Only takes you about 20 minutes to get there. On your way, like, you notice that the forge is like the sort of industrial center of the city. There's a lot of like smaller forges that don't seem to work with like everyday customers or general customers or anything. They typically look to be on the payroll of the city itself, making different things for the structures, the buildings, the walls, things like that. But this whole place, as you look up, it reminds you of California. It's very smug, pretty gross actually. Like, you can barely even see the sun as it beams through. But the moment you get outside and sort of on the other side of the streets that kind of keep the forge separate from the other spots, you can see that it's almost like a night and day difference. Like, there's some sort of invisible barrier that keeps all that nastiness in the forge. But you guys end up getting to Death Row, and let me get a perception check from everybody.
Oops.
You're good, Kevin. I got your perception check. Yeah, for some reason everybody was on Whisper, so...
Yeah,
I noticed
for
that.
some reason I'm on 3D dice. I need to figure out why I'm on that.
If you go to your settings, you can turn that off. Go to settings on the right side and scroll about, I think it's like midway through, but there's enable 3D dice.
Okay, yeah, I see it.
You should be able to uncheck that and it should be fine. So as you guys are getting into the sort of outskirts of Death Row, you notice the orphanage is kind of right there near the entrance to the city. The orphanage happens to be the tallest building within Death Row. All the other ones look kind of like little rundown shacks and stuff like that. Pretty like low income area for sure. No doubt about that. But you see the orphanage and you see the sign on it that's kind of banged up and it looks really janky. It's made out of wood. Some of the letters that were made out of like some sort of iron have fallen off. So you can still tell what it is because you can see the weathering from where those letters had sat there for a while. But it's the Little Talents Orphan Home. The only other thing is Vikavor. You notice that there's a shack that's sort of like deeper into death row that you can see a line of people waiting outside of the shack, and you don't know exactly what that means, but it's a couple 100 feet away. But you notice this.
All right. So I'm talking to everybody. Hey guys, do you guys see all those people over there? We should go check it out.
Is there anybody near here, Brady?
Like just walking around.
Yeah.
And you got the guards that are at the gate just kind of chilling there. Otherwise, it doesn't, like, you're looking at this orphanage and it's like, it's a pretty rundown place. You don't hear much coming from the location itself. It almost looks as if it could be unlived in. But you can see sort of like shadows of figures moving through the windows and stuff like that. But in terms of general traffic, there's not a lot of people that are in this area walking around right now.
I asked the guard, one of the nearby guards, what's going on? And I point towards the direction Vikavor.
You don't see that, so only Vikavor sees that.
I can ask that. Okay, I go to the guards and I'm gonna ask.
You do it.
I thought he made it. I thought he made it known that, hey.
Yeah, I asked them like.
Oh, did.
Yeah.
Oh, in that case, never mind. I missed that part. So the guard kind of shakes his head. Bunch of junkies. That place is called the Purple Haze. It's ran by a little kobold, and the City Watch has been trying to crack down on them for some time, but whenever you go in, it's just a bunch of hookah and stuff like that, but we know he's a drug dealer of sorts.
What the what kind of drugs? Never heard of anything around here.
I retract my statement. It's the Purple Cloud, not the Purple Haze.
I was
I'm
trying
trying
to
to
say,
be
like,
sued.
he's bold.
Purple Haze.
That sounds like a drug spot. The Purple Haze.
All right. You guys want to go check it out, or should we go to the orphanage?
We got a bit of free time. See if there's anything interesting in there.
All right. Well, let's walk over.
Okay. So as you guys get closer and closer, you can see a lot of poor folk are lining up outside. Everything from, man, woman, there's different races. It's not just human. There are some half-elves and elves. There's a couple gnomes and halflings. They're all just sort of like waiting in line, and there's at least 20 of them that, have wrapped around this sort of cobblestone shack. But you can see like on the outskirts, sort of like near where the door is, there's a wooden sign that's sat on the ground, leaned up against the side of the house, and you can see that it says Purple Cloud on it. The boards look like they're starting to rot, and you can actually see termites as they sort of like move through and from eating and stuff like that. And as you get a little bit closer, the man that is standing right outside of the entrance. He's like scratching his neck and stuff. He's like, "Hey, no cutting line, or you'll have to answer to me. Line starts. I can't see it, but it starts back there. So know your place. I'm next, not you. I'm next.
I
I'm
walk
gonna-
up to him.
Go ahead.
Don't come near me, please. Please, I just need my.
My eyes start to glow. I think you should back up a little bit.
Or what? What are you gonna do about it? And you can see he's actually like, now that you're close, he's kind of like shutting his eyes, and it almost looks like he's about to pass out or something like that from sleep deprivation.
Can I roll for intimidation as I say, I think you should take a little rest.
Yeah, go for it. I'm sorry for the inconvenience. But you can have my spot. I don't want no trouble. And he sort of steps out of line. No one wants trouble with him. And he starts to scratch the back of his neck and all over his face and starts to walk away. He gets to the other side of the street and he sits down against one of the shacks, and you can see as his head tilts back, and you can hear him starting to snore.
Well, now that that's done, let's see exactly what's going on here.
What got into him?
You see the door open, and when it flings open, a big hazy cloud of smoke just starts to fill the streets. And you see a couple of a human and a half-elf walk out, and as they look you in the eyes, he's got good stuff today. They start to walk away, and the door closes after them, which cuts off the cloud. But from what you could see, they were blazed out of their mind.
Well, it looks like we found the right place. You guys want to go in?
After you, buddy.
All right, let's. So is there just a door that we go in? I just have to open the door.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna open it. I'm going in. You guys can come if you want to.
I fall right behind him.
All right. I'm assuming all of you go in, right?
Sure.
Same with
Why
Quinn.
not?
Yep.
Okay. So as you guys get inside, it's a pretty spacious area, but there's a lot of hookah devices sprawled out around. There's a bunch of like pillows to sit on and stuff like that. But the one thing you notice is that there's like these very low lit candles that sort of keep the area completely dim, and you kind of have to squint your eyes to be able to see through the smoke and stuff like that. As you guys start to walk in deeper, as you're breathing, I need all of you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
You gonna get fucked up?
Vikavor and Snoopy, you guys are starting to feel the effects of being high. You have disadvantage on any sort of charisma checks, as well as dexterity and strength checks for the next hour. Saberwolf and Quinn, you're able to sort of hold your composure somehow. But you walk in and you immediately notice that like Vic ends up like tripping and taking a big breath. He's like, oh shit. He starts to giggle, and Vic on the back of Vikavor's head's like, oh, wow, that Ah, let's breathe it in, Vicavor. Breathe. Ah. Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? Have you come for the new product? I've got new stuff in. New stuff in. Yes, 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 yes. You see this little kobold. He's got purple scales, but he pops in from around a counter, and he's got a very long pipe. It's probably about a foot long, and you can see that he's constantly like puffing from it. And his eyes are sort of like they're squinty. He doesn't have them fully open, probably because he can't physically do it right now. New customers, never seen you all before. Might I ask who all you are? Who are you? Are you the cops? You're trying to get in on my situation, aren't you? Or maybe you're part of a rival gang trying to steal my product. Is that what you're here for? Enjoying the second hand, are we?
As if. We were just curious about what this place was.
He sits down and his head like lowers into his chest. Ah, yes, customers, what did you come to buy? I've got all manners of things, tobacco and everything beyond that.
What's the special today?
The special? What have I called it? I'll be honest, I've forgotten, but it's delicious and it'll get you almost to the astral plane. Especially if you take too much. But I don't recommend it. No. Do not ever take too much, because then your problems become my problems, and I have no problems. But it's not this new stuff. This is a new batch that I've made. A new one that I got from the Rustitas. Yes. Really good stuff. Really stuff. Cultivated in the sewers, but I've probably already said too much. But I can get you I can get you an ounce for 300 gold pieces. Yes, very generous.
What about a sample? It's our first time here.
A sample? Then you'll have to pay the cover fee of 10 gold apiece.
I'll pay the 10 gold. The sample.
I meant to say 20 gold apiece. I misspoke. 20 gold.
Oh, I think you actually misspoke. You meant to say 5 gold.
Are you attempting something?
Yeah. It may just be like super high, so that's why.
Okay.
What even is?
Obviously, he's enjoying the secondhand smoke. I might raise the price again unless you give me 20 gold right this moment. And he holds out his little purple hand.
Can I roll persuasion for
Sure.
the 5 gold?
No.
Come on,
No. How about instead of a sample, you could get out? That would be a better idea. Yes. I'm not gonna let the cops come in and ruin my franchise. I've worked too hard. And he starts to puff on his pipe. 20 gold, or you can see yourself out. Yes.
You bug. All right, 20 gold. But this cover charge would be for my friend Vicar over here. I want him to try the sample.
Perfect, I can do that. Yes. Any of you can try the sample. 20 gold apiece. So go ahead and
Alright.
if you're going to stay, deduct 20 gold from your inventory, and if you're not going to stay, you can leave the encounter or the social interaction rather.
Kinda like stumbles
Read the
out,
charge.
walks left
Read
and
the
right.
charge, Vicar. Go ahead and let us know how it goes. We'll be outside.
I didn't hear what you said, Snoopy.
He kind of just tries to walk, but like is stumbling left and right.
I reach down and grab Snoopy and carry him out.
Hey man.
You put Snoopy outside and he's just like plopping around like, whoa.
Hey, here we go. Snoop Dogg.
Oh man, how'd that feel, little buddy? Look like you're kind of messed up.
I just start singing some "Don't Worry About a Thing."
Okay.
Every little thing.
So I'm
Before
I'm
you
still
go
inside, right?
AFK, are you outside or inside, Gerald? Too late.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yeah, Vic,
He's outside.
Vic, Saberwolf, and Vic and Saberwolf are the only two inside. Then.
You made his decision.
All right. Okay. I'm talking to the We never got the kobold's name, did we? We didn't get his name.
No,
Okay. I'm still in front of him, right?
correct.
And so I'm gonna like looking around, like all confused a little bit, and I'm like, so what are you, and what is your name?
I'm a kobold. I'm surprised you didn't know that, but you know, maybe. Ah, yes, my train of thought. Maybe you've never seen one of us before, but I am a descendant of a dragon. And he holds out his hand, and nothing happens special except for like the smoke sort of wafts up, and he's like, but we're a little less scary. Yes. But you want the sample, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, here we go. Now, he holds it in front of you, or he grabs a stool and puts it in front of you and climbs up to where he's able to put it like right in front of your face. Make sure you chew it very, 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 very finely. It needs to be mushy in your mouth. Once you swallow it, I would have a seat for maybe 30 minutes or so, and I wouldn't try to move.
I whisper in Vicavor's ear. We hear that? Very, 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 very.
Yes, very, 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 very finely. Yes, like your friend said. I'm surprised I didn't say it first, but your friend is right. Maybe he's done this before.
Very finely.
So, like, as this is happening, I'm just like staring off straight into space. And then
He
I look.
plops
I
it
kinda
in your
snap out of
mouth.
it. Oh, jeez. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and chew it up very, 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 like, almost
Yep.
where it doesn't exist anymore in my mouth.
So go ahead and do a Constitution save at disadvantage for me as you start to ingest it. Let's see how high you get. 13. Okay, so you don't get like you're already like pretty blitzed, but this like just accelerates it. And then as you sit down and sort of lean your head back, like your vision starts to darken, and all of a sudden like you close your eyes and you open them again, and you're on top of a cloud. At this point, Vicavor, describe your high. What do you see? What do you do?
All right, I'm just sitting up there. I'm sitting on like you know those like pom pom chairs. Aren't like I'm just kind of sitting on there, and this cloud is like moving. And then I look across the way, and similar to Snoopy, I see a reggae band playing across there, across the clouds, and basically I just start seeing 500 fireballs being casted in the distance. But in tie-dye, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys, that's hilarious. So, Saberwolf, what you can see, you see like Vicavor sitting back, and he's looking out, and he's like, wow, look at all the fireballs, and they're colorful. I wonder if I can do that. And he starts to cast fireball. What do you do, Saberwolf?
I try to react fast, and then put his hand. Hold on. No, we're not gonna do that.
While he's on this trip, there's literally no way he can resist you, and he's like, in his vision, he sees like this sort of he sees this great wolf creature come up and sort of grab his hands and hold him up like the Titanic. And Vicavor's like, wow, I can fly. Wow. Whoa. Look at all the colors. Wow, I've never even seen that color before. And you see like his eyes, like they droop and then they become wide as he's like looking you dead in your face, but he doesn't see you. And the kobold comes around and he's like, "Oh, that's a good one. Fireballs everywhere. I like that. It's like a dragon's there, just like breathing fire all over. Watch this, watch this, watch this." And he goes over and he grabs one of the candles and he puts it near Vicavor's face. And Vicavor, all of a sudden, he's like, I'm on fire! I'm on fire! And he starts to like freak out and stuff. He's like, I love doing that to blitzed customers. It's hilarious. But your friend will probably need 30 minutes or so, and then he'll be back to fully function. Until then, you're either gonna have to carry him, or I guess you could leave him here for his trip. By the way, did you want to buy an ounce for 300 gold for your friend? I'm sure it'd be a great gift for him later.
It's actually kind of tempting. No, we'll come back. If I come to that decision. Yeah, if we come to
That's
that
neither.
decision, I'll definitely come back. Given how he comes down from this current high, yeah, I think it might be entertaining to see him in this fashion again. Won't you
Well,
say,
I'll be
Vic?
honest, if you leave now but don't come back, I may be out of the supply. I've got a few hits left of it, and with people wanting to sample it, that's all been used up.
You know what? No, I think we're okay.
Very well. In that case, I have other customers waiting. If you could gently pick him up and leave, I appreciate your business and can't wait for you to come back to buy other products that I have.
No problem. Thank you for the good time.
Oh, and
grab
remember,
Vicavor.
you never got any of that stuff from me, and if you did, I don't know how.
Oh, I know the policy. Hush, hush. I put my finger on my over my mouth. Hush, hush. And I grab Vicavor and put him over my right shoulder. All right, buddy. Let's get out of here. Enough fun for one bit.
I don't want to go
So-
home yet, Daddy.
Oh no, you have to follow the rules. We have to get you home to bed before the curfew.
I like the lizard man. He put it in my mouth.
What? I didn't know you flew that way, but what happens between you and me, it will stay between me and you.
All right.
Start walking out.
Okay. So outside, you see Snoopy is starting to gain his composure back from his high. You see Quinn is kind of just keeping an eye on him, making sure like nothing happens to him while he's got, it's essentially like a weed secondhand high, but it's Snoopy's first time, so he's never like he's like feeling all sorts of sensations through his body that he's never felt before.
Oh, that was quite entertaining. Honestly, should have bought a little extra just to see what else he can come to mind. He might end up, one of those high visions of the future or something like that. Could be interesting. Hey, Gerald, are you back yet?
He hasn't asked if we can hear him, so no.
So I'm stuck talking to two high people for right now.
Yeah.
Are you still? He's still carrying me, right?
Oh yeah.
I still have you over my shoulder.
Oh.
Who's carrying
me-
me?
You're just sitting there, like on your back, probably, with your tongue out.
Have you guys seen the South Park Major Boobage?
I
Where
think
they,
so.
like, the cheesing and that that song plays and they like there's boobs or everything. Yeah, that's me but bones.
So he's like, you can see him like crunching down and trying to like gnaw on bones, but he's doing it to his paw. He's like,
Just stop that, buddy, huh? You're coming down soon. I end up rubbing his belly. Hey, you're coming down soon. Just calm down, relax. Try not to do anything too rash, like our buddy here on my shoulder.
I took like 3 like normal breaths in there. I'm a lightweight. What can I say?
Can I? So in my state, I'm going to use my minor illusion to make a set of steel drums, play some music.
Okay.
Just like-
I'll put a couple down to let him get the blood back to where it needs.
Good doggy, good doggy.
I'm just gonna lean against the lean back and just watch them.
Okay.
Brady, are
Okay.
you using a music bot anymore?
Only if I don't have it. But I've found out how to do. I've found out how to pretty much download a lot of stuff. This is all coming from Roll20, the music.
Oh, okay. I think I must have Roll20 muted because I'm not getting any.
Oh, yeah. That would mean you aren't getting a lot.
Oh, you know what? I use 2 different computers because I use my work computer for dual monitors, but I don't want to put Discord on my work computer, so.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I don't want to use Discord for my VPN. Oops. Just use who knows how much data. Anyways, I'll stay super high as a puppy.
Yeah. Hey Snoopy.
I'll just
Hey.
open Roll20 in both.
I'm gonna start moving back towards the door to go back inside. Just gonna start kind of moving that way a little bit.
Now where are you going?
So this is
I need-
this is Vikavor's minor illusion making music for him, and he's just kind of like jamming out to it. He's like, oh wow, oh
Yeah, I'm just about to ask, is he still stoned?
yeah,
No,
he's
man.
stoned for an hour. He's gone, dude.
Oh, Quinn, he is what we say fucked up.
How soon?
He is had him taste the special stuff. He is out on the deep end. That's what we should say.
I'm just gonna be like, hey, Quinn. Hey, let the lizard man put it in your mouth.
What? No.
Hey, you sure you don't want to try it? I tried some myself. It was some good stuff.
Just close your eyes, man. Let it happen.
You guys notice that there's like some dude that's now just left Neben's purple cloud. He comes out and he goes right up against the cobblestone wall that you guys are near, and he starts to lick it. And he looks at you guys. The snozberries taste like snozberries, dude. He's just licking the cobblestone wall.
Just be
I'm
like,
just giving I'm just giving the most anticipated look, like, oh my god, I need to see more.
How's Saberwolf looking right now?
Saberwolf looks
good.
fine. His eyes are like a little red on the outskirts, but other than that, he's perfectly fine.
Someone has to be the responsible one here for you guys.
Hey, what about you? You sniff that stuff too, you know? It's kind of hard to not feel a little bit of something. I mean, I'm okay.
I did take it out of character.
No. I mean,
You walked
rolled high
in
enough.
and you rolled high enough, but like you know, you've got a little bit of redness in your eyes too, just from the contact of it, like the contact high.
Oh, okay.
But
Okay,
otherwise, you are perfectly fine.
Oh man, you should have seen it. This man almost blew up the entire shack.
what?
Yes, he was saying something about the fireball. Oh, the fireballs. Maybe I should do one too. Then he raised his hand and almost lit up a fireball. I had to hurry up and stop him before he did.
Yo,
sorry guys,
we have. Go ahead.
somebody called me. I'm back right now though.
Oh, you're good.
But yeah. Well, Saberwolf, don't you think we should be in, I guess, the best state we could possibly be in, especially since we got to do you know what?
Oh, yeah.
And
Hey, Quinn, I've never felt better, okay? I don't know if I was part of this conversation or not. Sorry, guys.
Well, technically,
No, you-
Saberwolf is carrying you, so yes, you are there.
yeah, you're good. And I look at him. Like, please, as he's getting carried. Well, then prove it, then, sir.
Well, I mean, I could leave him here while we handle our business.
I would like to come along.
Hold on. What business are you talking about? The orphanage?
The orphanage, yes.
Well, I thought we agreed that he was gonna be the one that signs off. This is not a good look right now.
Well, it was his choice. As a responsible adult, wasn't very responsible, but hey, he was curious. I assured his curiosity.
Thank you,
What?
Saberwolf.
But it's not too bad. I'll handle it.
We need to make sure that he is ready before anything. So hold on, put him down real quick. Hold on, are we still inside the thing?
No, we're
No, y'all are outside.
Okay. So what I'm doing right once he puts him down, I want to like fix his clothes, make sure he's looks presentable and he doesn't smell real bad.
All right.
So
How do you go about making him not smell bad?
that I was gonna ask if I could. I can't cast a druid craft on him, can I?
Sure, you can.
Okay,
mean,
You
so
make him smell like flowers.
I want to make him smell like, something just real good. Not like a cheap cologne or anything like that, but like berries and stuff like that. Like he just bathed.
Okay. Yeah, so he starts to like pat you down, and you watch in your high, like you see like a lot of like dust, like explosions as he hits your chest and stuff, and it's like really colorful, and you're like, whoa, wow, I made that. Then he casts his druid craft, and when he does that, it's almost as if his finger, like when he's casting his spell, like you can see like in slow motion, and it leaves sort of like a one of those phase trails behind with all the glowing green energy. But all of a sudden, you just smell whatever your favorite pie is, and you're like, Wow. That's a good pie.
So as I look at him make and do all that, all right, Saberwolf, what do you think?
And I'm just gonna be like, as they're talking, I'm just giving him like finger guns, like, yeah.
I'm walking around him with my finger under my chin, like my arms crossed, my finger under my chin, like, I think he could pass as a good father, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, he looks good, but there's one more thing. He just needs to make sure he can do this. And then I want to pull out like some paper and
Okay.
like a pencil. And Vicavor, I want you to write your name on this.
All right.
Slide a hand check at disadvantage, please. Nice. He writes it, and it's not as pretty as you probably think he could do, but it's still professional. And it will remain as
Look
such
at
for
that.
the rest of his life.
For a
And-
person that's stoned out of his mind, he actually passes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna give Quinn 2 finger guns and a wink.
He's good. He's good. I like him.
Hey, man, he'd be careful, man. I think after this experience, he kind of questioned his sexuality a little bit, you know?
All right, and I'm gonna kind of hold my finger up for a second, be like, wait. Hey Vic, how you doing, man? How you back there? How's things on the backwards head there?
I forgot about that. I whispered that to Saberwolf.
I go to the back of Vicavor.
You see Vic.
Hey.
Vic is back there, and he's got a big ass like drool like bubble going down his I guess what would be his chin, but it's Vicavor's back of his head, and it's just like a big ass trail of drool, and his eyes are like rolled in the back of his head, and he's like,
I put Vicavor's hood on. Yeah, that shit suffices, right?
I mean, as long as he's like that, I think he should be okay. But I mean, I'm feeling good about it right now. He passed everything that I wanted to do.
All right. Well, cross our fingers. Let's go.
I have faith in you, Vicavor. And I'd pat him on his shoulder and tell him to come on. And where's Snoopy?
he's like right
I'll look
next to
down.
you.
Oh no.
How are you doing, buddy?
Yeah, how are you doing, Snoopy?
How am I doing?
You're not as high or blitzed out of your mind, but so you're still able to walk and stuff, but you know, Snoopy's somewhat high still, so like you can comprehend what's going on, but you still like see and feel different things that can throw off your attention.
Okay. Good.
All right. Can you walk on your own, or you need me to carry you?
I can walk, and I try to walk bipedally.
roll a dexterity check with disadvantage. Yo, he hops up and he starts walking for like a couple feet, and then he gets down. He hops back up and starts walking on his back legs and gets down. See, guys?
All right. He passed too. All right. And I put my hand on Quinn's back. All right. I guess we're good.
All right, you lead the way.
Let's
and then
go.
I want us to like do like a single file line with, so they don't mess up or do anything. So Sable's gonna be in front, and I'm gonna be in the back.
Okay.
I want to cast minor illusion again, and have like I want the steel drums be floating on the cloud behind us as we walk, and like two times intensity.
Okay.
Have some lyrics lyrics that you just hear, you don't know where they're coming from. You just hear, "Move, bitch, get out the way, get out the way."
So in your mind, you make it and you put it on this cloud and it's starting to follow you. For everybody else, it's literally just a shitty steel drum set that's sitting there. And it stays there as you guys start moving away. Because Minor Illusion technically can't move. So, like, he's over here looking at it and it's following him. And he's like, wow, listen to the music, guys. But the rest of you just see a steel drum set just sitting there for no reason.
I look back.
Some
while-
dude
while
comes
I'm
up and
walking.
tries to play it. And he's like, aw, it's a fake. And then he walks away.
I look back as that's going on while I'm walking. Just...
Quinn is just rubbing his eyes at this point, like, god damn it.
So you guys get to the orphanage, and as you walk in, the door is unlocked, so you proceed inside, I assume. And while you're in there, you see a human man with sort of this brown hair. He's got like a sort of a thick jacket on, and he's got these like really nerdy looking glasses. And he's currently talking to a taller, slender man with long black hair. We need to get as many of these children out of here, and we need to do it as soon as possible. Customers. I will leave you to it. Make sure that you find these kids' homes. They are starting to take up too much space. Gentlemen, I hope all of you can find what you're looking for to start a family, even if you are all rolling that way. There's always a child in need of loving parents. Good day. This is what the man looks like.
Yeah, and I'm like, he sounds really familiar.
And so, gentlemen, well, anyways, yes, we are in, well, first I want to start, how does this process all start? How do we, if we are in the shoppings for a potential new family member, what would be the process?
So, as the tall, slender man, slender man, not Slenderman, that's a different session. As he walks out, the gentleman in front of you, well, it's very simple, actually. Lord Martello just actually made it a little easier for folks to get children. And we're kind of running a special that usually you can only adopt one per month, but now we're doing it up to 3. So it's just some paperwork. We got to do a little bit of make sure that you don't have any sort of criminal record, and make sure you have a good source of income, and then you just pay the fees, and the child is yours. It could take anywhere between 30 minutes to a couple hours.
Oh, okay.
enough.
And there's no special, like, get one free type deal going?
Well, I mean, technically, it's not that you're not paying for them. You're paying for the rehousing fee and stuff like that. But I guess if you want to make them feel like products, which typically I wouldn't give you children if you saw them as products. But I've been told that I need to get as many out, so I can walk into my office. Let's get the paperwork started, shall we? Are you looking for?
Well, hang
Wait.
Yeah, hang on.
I'm
Are
calling
you,
a group huddle.
You know,
Also,
hang on.
after-
I want to ask this guy a question. Are you saying that we could each get 3 children each?
Yes, I guess. I kind of assumed you were all together, but if you're separate now, it makes more sense, yes. You would be able to all 3 become separate families. But I thought perhaps these children were going to get 3 fathers, which I'll be honest, I've seen stranger, but it's not unheard of.
Well, hang on. Let us talk. Give us just a second here, and we'll determine how many children we would like. How many we would like to order.
Out of character, just thank God we
Oh,
don't
go
have
ahead.
a lizard folk in our party. Free food.
So he asks real quick. Well, I guess would you like me to even start the process of at least looking to make sure you have no criminal records, or do you wish to discuss it first and then perhaps go out? But well,
Yeah, just give us just a second.
Yeah.
Give us just a
okay.
So,
And he
Little
walks
huddle?
back a little bit, giving you your privacy.
Okay. So you guys
none of
know
us
what?
have a criminal record.
No, I don't. But you know what I'm thinking? 12,
Oh.
12 kids. I think we can have a little army going here. What do you think? Like a little child army?
I've
I know I'm a bit impaired right now, but that is not the plan.
Yeah, I look at him like, what?
Yeah, or I mean, maybe even that like little vampire dude. Maybe he wants some kids. Leave us
what,
alone.
I'm walking on 2 feet, but I don't think they're gonna let me adopt a child.
Oh, come on, Sneeby. Just go back and pick out the one you like.
I look at Vicavor and then look right back at Quinn. Okay, so how are we gonna do this? I don't have a criminal record. I mean, considering I travel all the time, so I don't expect have a history of being put in jail. Not that I know of.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't have one as well. Well, unless no, never mind. No, I don't
You
have
see
one.
me like in the corner, like kind of tucking my tail between my legs and like face down.
And I'm just gonna like walk off like as you guys are talking really quickly and go into the guy's office and be like, hey, my dog can have some kids too, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
And then I hurry back and grab Vicavor and bring him right back to the hall. Come on, back over here.
Okay.
And I gotta say, I don't know if I have a clean record.
That's okay. You're automatically disqualified anyways. It's fine. I'll share my kids with you. Don't worry.
What?
To set the record straight, we are not keeping these kids. So
I mean, we only have to give away 2, right? We can keep the other like 11.
It's 3.
Or 12?
My bad.
3?
Yeah,
I
they
mean,
wanted
3 minus what is that? 9? We get at least 15 kids.
Bottom line.
like, yo, Sabrel, what is he talking about?
I'm ignoring him. We're looking specifically for a specific girl. We have to first identify that girl is here.
And they all have to be girls, right?
Oh, there's a specific one that they asked for. We have to ask by name.
Yeah, they wanted a specific one, and they also wanted 2 additional girls. So 3 girls total. One of them is very specific.
Am I like blasting high? I'm like, do you think they're gonna use their youth?
Holy! I didn't even think about that.
I think I feel a little sick now. I don't know how I feel about this.
Well, this song is not helping.
One first.
Okay.
What was that girl's name again? I forgot. Out of character.
Gildred.
I meant to. Gildred.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
That's not what I want.
In character.
Also not what I want.
You're about to make this worse than it is,
bro. Like, it's just like we're talking about. You don't think they're gonna steal their youth? Did you just have
That's the end of the movie right there.
That's was like, this song is not helping at all.
Yeah, this is not good. I don't know how I feel about this. But we are mercenaries, right? Would we consider ourselves mercenaries? Would we actually invest ourselves in our work? It's just for the money and the goods.
I didn't want to get involved with this in the first place. But, I mean, but once the children are gone, they're out of our hands. And hold on, do we even know that they can do that?
Well, they are maidens.
Snoopy, where'd you get this from?
I don't know, man. Just hocus pocus.
I forgot. I forgot. Okay, so
Are maidens, but they give a very witch vibe of themselves, so I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know enough about this to even.
You know, Quinn. I think that means more kids for us. You know, we don't have to give them away.
Let's just go through it. We have the time.
All right. I'll walk over towards the man's office.
Yes. Come on in. Did you come to a conclusion?
Yes, indeed. Question. So, we're looking for a specific girl.
Well, we have quite a few of them. A few are also newborns. Do you have a name, perhaps? Or do you want to see the lot?
Goes by the name Gildred.
Yes, we do have a Gildred.
You mind if I meet her?
No, definitely. Just 1 second. And he goes over to the wall where there's like a, think of an old style phone, and he picks it up and, Gildred, to the front office, please. We have a potential family for you. And he hangs it up, and you can hear from like the third story, you hear footsteps as they're running. You can hear them going down the stairs. You hear them running across the hall, going down the stairs, and all of a sudden... yes, come in, Gildred, come on in. And the little girl walks in and like looks at all of you, and she's kind of like, she steps back a couple steps and is like, whoa, that's a big
the second
family.
I see her,
And one has a
blink
dog.
into her arms.
Okay. And as she's walking up to pet you, you all of a sudden appear in her arms. It's like, oh, wow, a puppy? I get a family and a puppy? This is awesome!
Well,
Yeah!
not just that, Gildred. Do you like drums?
Sure? And she starts to pet Snoopy, ignoring you. Well, that's Gildred for you. She does love animals. She's quite the special one. And funny, why Gildred specifically? I don't think I've ever seen you come through before, so I'm a little curious as to how you know her name.
Well, we passed through before. Happened to see her. Caught my eye.
Exactly how did you see her? We try to make sure that people, because there's a lot of weirdos in this place, so we make sure that it's not easy to see through the windows. So the fact that you're able to see her concerns me a bit.
How so?
Well, this isn't the safest area of the neighborhood, so we don't typically let them outside unless perhaps they're being chaperoned by potential families. And like I've said already, I've never met you before, so how did you see her?
We can do like trial runs with the kid, with the children.
Yes, it's essentially you get to see if they sort of click with you and your family. You can take them out to do various activities around the towns and stuff, but they're due back here by their curfew which has already passed because they need to be ready for dinner, and then they need to get ready for bed later. But if you wanted to come back and perhaps take her out for a little bit to see if she even likes you all, that would be possible tomorrow. But she does seem to like your dog.
Would you mind, like, if we just have, like, I don't know, we can just chat with her for a little bit, just to see if she would even be willing to do.
Yes, you may chat with her. I still am wondering your friend's answer to my question, though.
It may heard of the name.
Yeah, Saberwolf, I think you're confused. I think we're all a little confused right now. Maybe we saw something or we saw nothing. Who's to say who sees what, you know?
Yeah, you have a point.
I'll be honest, it's not that you're not going to be qualified due to your answer unless you're just a sort of a creepy uncle fellow. I'm just concerned is all. Not a lot of folks come in their first time to the orphanage and ask to see a very specific little girl out of a large number of them.
Hey, Saberwolf, do that thing you do when you perform.
Oh yes. Didn't even get a chance to explain who I am. My name is Saberwolf. I am a traveling entertainer. I usually travel to orphanages across different villages, different cities, and entertain them. I could show you one of my performances if you don't mind.
Then I'm assuming you must have heard from another orphanage. This is Gildred's fifth home. Maybe that's how you heard her name.
Perhaps. I travel a lot. Actually, it's my first time coming around here. So, could have been a past city recent.
That actually makes more sense. A lot of the larger capitals, we try to we try to do transfers to see if, after so much time of being in one orphanage, maybe there's another city where they would have better luck at achieving their family. And unfortunately, with everything that's going on, Gildred has been moved from location to location, and now she's finally with us. She's only been here for maybe less than a week or so. So I apologize. I hope you don't misunderstand my protection of these children. I just really want to make sure that the proper people are making sure that they find a family. It's just there's been bad incidences in the past, so hopefully you understand where I'm coming from.
What was your name, by the way? Excuse me.
Yes, the name is Kier Solis.
Kier Solis. Yes, I understand perfectly. I grew up in an orphanage myself before I broke away and became a traveler. Studied the martial arts, but I make my runnings as a pretty much a carnival act, if you want to put it short. So I understand the meaning of traveling from orphanage to orphanage. As a child, that was a frequent thing for me.
Oh, well, I apologize about your upbringing, and yes, if you would like, you can take Gildred to the front room where you may speak with her. Real quick, who would be doing the adoption today? And are more than one of you doing it? If I could get your names so that I can check with the guards and make sure that none of you will have any sort of criminal record. It should only take about the amount of time that you probably wish to spend with her, 20 minutes or so.
I will be the one to adopt her.
And your name?
what kind of want to keep my? Because I know my name is, my stage name is Saber Wolf, but my name.
I
is
don't think a
Hector.
saber wolf is going to be the one that is running in the books of criminals, unfortunately. They would use your real name, so if I could get that, please.
Hector Horace.
Hector Horace. Is that how you spell it? And he spells it incorrectly.
No, it's put the
Oh.
J. It's right
Oh,
there.
it's a J. Very strange language, but okay. And then he shows you the correct spelling of it.
Perfecto.
What about your other two? I assume you're not partners now, you're just friends. All decided to start a family at the same time. It's quite cute, actually.
Indeed. Actually become quite close.
Do you two plan to adopt today as well?
Listen, Kara, okay? We'll take the lot, okay?
As much as I would love to do that, I would probably lose my head. You may adopt up to 3 children, and that is final.
Alright. What do you think, Quinn? Should I get 3?
So where can we talk to Miss Gildred?
You may take her up to the front room. There's a lot of toys and things that you may all play. Blocks are one of her favorites.
Yeah. So Kara, let me ask you a question. Are there what's the age range of kids here? Like how old are they?
Well, to be honest, we usually keep them based on whatever race they are considered adult or young adults. For humans, we don't let them go until the age of 16. For half elves, same. A lot of elves we keep for a lot less, about 12 years for an elf. It all really depends on what race you're looking for, but we also happen to have, on occasion, folks leave at our doorstep newborns, and we don't have anywhere else to take them, so we start raising them from essentially birth. And we do have a couple newborns, probably within a month old or so. Both human girls.
Any orc children?
We do have an orc child. He's quite the terror, though, I'll be honest. Likes to destroy things with his fist, especially the other children's toys, and it's become quite an issue.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, we'll talk to this girl here a little bit, and then we'll let you know our order later.
So, if you're planning on adopting as well, may I have your name?
Yes, it is Vicavor.
He writes it down correctly. And your other friend, Quinn, I heard them say, do you want to adopt today as well?
No, I'm fine. Thank you, though.
Okay. Gildred, if you could take the sweet little puppy and go to the front room. I'll be back after I see if they are potential fathers for you. Oh, goody. And she grabs Snoopy, and she's kind of holding him like with her arms under his front legs, and his back portion is just dangling. And she starts running towards the front room.
All right. Thank you once again.
Real quick, I need to use the bathroom, so I'll be right back. You guys formulate what questions or what you want to talk to Gildred about, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
He just takes his dog wearing studded leather armor, a cape, eye patch, has a couple daggers holstered in the side, and a rapier.
Like, dude.
That was just a normal dog.
I mean, I'm gonna just ask like the basic, like, how old are you? And then have her like ask us any questions. For the most
All
part.
right.
I say we just like get this shit over with.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna skip over the child army thing.
Oh, come on.
Well,
I mean,
Child army
you're
thing.
still high as a kite right now, so you don't know what you're doing.
Ethan, I support you adopting 3 children and having to deal with that. And
Well-
then obviously getting killed in combat the next.
Right.
listen. You guys need to okay. I'm gonna use your number, Quinn, of children too. I need 6. That's the minimum child army size you can have. The 6 children.
Yeah,
I don't want to have to buy weapons for them all. That's the problem. I'm looking at the money needed for that.
I'm mad I almost got exposed though. I couldn't think of anything. I need to. I'll be right back. I'm about to use the bathroom too.
But so totally, they're gonna steal the vitality from these girls.
Not too sure because they asked for this girl specifically, so we don't know.
But
I
we
tell you,
all know
we can
this
grab-
out of game that this is what's gonna happen. These children are dead.
What do we get out of this? Is my question. I wasn't there, so what are they going to give us?
Favor from the people that know a hag.
Well,
Yeah, and on top of that, we're getting a bunch of potions and a bunch of poison vials.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
let's do it. Jeez, what are we even talking about it for?
Hold on one second. I'll be back. Use the bathroom.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'll be right back.
Right, I'm back.
You're the only one.
Oh,
Everybody else
case,
wanted to get body too.
that makes sense. Been playing for 2 hours ish. Plus, I got a popsicle.
You should give me a
How's,
character sheet so I can do this thing. So go ahead.
Okay. How's y'all's house doing?
Yeah, it's doing pretty good. Yeah, we're liking it. How's your house doing? Did they stop construction on it?
No, they didn't have to stop at all, which was tight. It'll be done.
Awesome.
Well, I guess in theory, if you think about it, it is done, kind of. They're just doing all the finalizing and stuff like that, so. But we closed June 1st.
Righteous.
Oh, yeah. So if you go to the Players tab, and if you go to New, you'll see the character sheet that I have there for you.
Alright, I'm back.
I have all this shit.
Oh.
You said players and then new.
Players, and then New, and then there should, it's like Urkwu, Algadlaz, or whatever.
Cool. I got it. Now where will this? It'll just. Where should I put it? Or you'll put it?
Just keep it there.
Okay.
Yeah, I keep all the new characters that aren't being currently played in there because a lot of people like to fill out the sheets just in case. Plus, it's kind of fun. I had forgotten how fun it was when I was filling one out yesterday.
Love characters, yeah. I have 3 that I want to make now.
Let me make you 2
I'm-
more sheets real fast.
I'm rolling a character right now.
Yeah. Copy of the copy
I
of the
have
copy
your
of the
bag.
copy.
I'm literally gonna make a character named copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of a copy of Kevin.
Okay. You have 2 more sheets in there too. Is Gerald back? Tight.
Just that.
What did you put your bottom limit on your dice rolls? Did you say 70?
70. Correct.
Yeah, I think that's a good. Because man, you can roll some shitty characters.
Yep.
I rolled.
Yeah,
I'm
70.
making one of these guys. He rolled I have a 4. Yep, I have a 4 in there, and it's still above 70. So.
There you go. Yeah,
This is
because
gonna be a barbarian.
like if you think about it, with 6 stats, if you were to have a 10 in all of them and be like a completely average Joe, you're still 10 under the limit. So it just makes sure that you are going to be good at something for sure.
Yes.
Like it's almost a guarantee.
Yeah, you need to have at least a 15 or a 16, or at least 2 15s. Like, if not, you're like not a special person.
Yeah.
Which you need to be a special person to be an adventurer.
How much longer do I have of the purple cloud stuff?
We'll say this whole interaction, you've got like another 30 minutes.
Alright.
So pretty much after or shortly after you guys are talking to Gildred, it'll be gone and you'll be back to normal.
Okay. I don't know if I'm breaking a rule here by taking children. Is that like a thing I can actually do?
If you want some children, sure. Just be prepared to
You can do
roleplay
anything,
being a
just no
daddy.
breaking rules. Just no breaking rules. As far as like choosing to do things.
Well, I mean like in the sense of like if I keep trying it, can it not actually happen? Meaning that like Brady knows like he doesn't want it to happen, so it's not gonna happen type thing.
Oh, yeah. These guys are going to have very good records, and when Vicavor rolls in a second time to get a second batch of children, more than likely, they'll be like, you already have 3 kids, you're good, dude.
He's gonna walk in backwards. Walk in backwards.
Hi, the name's Vic. Strange, we had a dude that has a similar name to you. Why is your head fucked up? Your body's so disproportional. If Gerald isn't back, you guys can go ahead and start asking Gildred questions if you wish.
God dang it.
But it's a talking dog.
Let's see. We'll do. That's 2.
That's
two.
a lot. That's a lot. Yeah.
This should be good.
Yeah, god dang it, because like the stuff that I'm gonna need Gerald.
Oh, well, we can wait a couple seconds.
Completely unrelated, but what cross streets are you at, Brady, now?
We'll be at the house that we're at right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're still at U Stick and Eagle.
You got U-Stick.
I'll send you actually. Yeah, I'll send you
That's
the
close.
address.
Then you're only a block away. I'm on U-Stick and Locust Grove.
Oh, tight.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are right there. Worst case scenario, you can walk home.
Sure. Yeah. I needed to let you know. So I needed to change the time just slightly to 6. Instead of, I think we have 5:30, right? So we have.
Correct.
I need to bump it back 1 hour because my father-in-law's birthday is on Wednesday, but we're doing something earlier. But I should be done by like 6 o'clock. So. if
Okay,
it's okay.
tight. Yeah, you guys take your time.
Hmm.
Take your time. I'll assume that means y'all are probably eating before you get there, then, or get over here, then, or.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say too. I think we'll be eating too, so you don't have to wait for us for eating or anything like that.
Tight.
But I'll bring the stuff, some of that purple cloud.
Yeah, that purple cloud. Them purple caps.
Actually, I have like a half thing of Tanqueray. Some other stuff too.
Okay. Yeah, we have tonic water, and we've got Diet Coke and stuff, and some Trulies.
Nice.
What up, cat? Cats are strange. Gerald, hurry up, dude. Oh my god.
I'm back.
All right, you didn't say nothing.
Well, you didn't even say nothing. No, can y'all hear me? No, back? No, nothing.
Didn't even type in the chat. I'm back.
Yeah, come on.
God,
We're over here, like, dicks in our hands, like, just chilling. Like,
Dang it.
Oh, don't
I need to
mind.
watch, what is it, Bad Neighbors or whatever? I need to watch that movie again.
All
That
right,
shit's hilarious.
to the questions.
So you guys go to the front room, and Gildred's got Snoopy and puts him on the ground and starts to rub his belly. What a good boy! What a good boy!
Hello.
I'm acting like a real dog.
Yeah. Is there furniture in this room?
Yeah, there's like chairs. There's plenty of chairs, probably enough for like 10 people to sit around and stuff. And then there's
Alright.
like a toy bin that has different various toys for children.
Is there like a chair like away from everybody a little bit, like kind of in the corner of the room or something?
Yeah, it's a fairly
Okay.
big room, so you'd be able to sit on the opposite side like a creeper.
I'm just gonna go sit in that chair that's far away and just start vibing over there. Kind of like slouched back, just chilling.
Okay. You guys watch Vicavor go and sit. He puts his hood closer towards his eyes, and he's just like, his head is bobbing. You watch him cast a spell, and the steel drums pop back up, and he's just chilling.
Nice.
I give him a look like, okay, well, all right, to the task at hand. Hey, hello, Gildred. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great, especially if you take me home and be my new father. This is your dog?
Oh yes, definitely. He is Snoopy. He's a good boy.
Snoopy, that's a good name. I like Snoopy. He's a good boy, yeah. And she starts rubbing your ears as she says that.
Oh.
I give Snoopy a wink. Got it. and so, how old are you?
I'm 12.
12. Oh. Okay.
Yeah. I think that I turn 13 soon, but she holds up her hands in the sort of shrug. I honestly don't know. But they tell me I'm 12.
That's fair enough. What do you like to do? What do you like to do for?
Well, I really like dogs, and I do like the blocks, especially because of this. And she holds her hands towards the blocks, and they start to assemble themselves.
And there it is.
Whoa!
Oh, you're a talented one, aren't you?
Yeah.
We'll show you something
I don't know how I do it, but sometimes I just point at stuff and it starts to do weird stuff.
That's nice. Which
Is there anyone else here that's like that?
I don't think so, actually. There's not a lot, there's a lot of normal people here. This town is full of, a bunch of normal people. And a lot of them, they have their kids and then they just leave them here. The kids don't even get to know, and those are the saddest ones. You should honestly think of adopting them too, because they really want a family.
And you know what? That's actually a bit of the plan. Well, me, I know how it feels to not have a family. And we hope we can
Why
make
do
you
you
guys
know?
happy. Well, I actually also grew up in a place like this. But,
Really?
yeah, I actually did. But I also got adopted by somebody like me. He is a nice fellow.
Wow.
Taught me
So
how
you're
to.
just doing what they did too, which means if you adopt me, I'll do the same thing. And it could be like a really good thing. And a lot of kids would get adopted and have a family finally. That's so cool.
Exactly. Could be cool. I can teach you everything I know. See,
Please
my
do.
father here taught me how to, how to fight and how to defend myself. But I use it for entertainment purposes.
Wow, that's really cool. I would like to teach kids that I adopt at some point to do the things that I can do, but well, some of them are really scary.
Scary hell.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Well, I'm not allowed to do it. Last time I did it, it broke all the windows. But
What did you do?
well, well, there's an orc kid. His name is Juke. And he took my blocks from me, and I wasn't very happy. So I tried to take them back from him, and he pushed me, and it hurt, and I screamed really loud. And every one of the windows broke because I was screaming.
Does she smell like a human?
Go ahead and roll
Also-
a perception check.
And can I roll like
It is.
insight as well?
Yeah. Insight on a little girl.
Yeah, hey man.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, go for it. She does smell like a human, yes. And from what you can tell, she's telling you the truth. She doesn't seem like... Her guard is definitely down right now. She's vulnerable to any questions you ask her. She trusts you guys.
I have a question. It's had to been this whole ordeal pretty tough on you. Do you know where you're from?
Well, I've been to a lot of places, and I don't remember how old I was when I first got in the orphanage, but I was over, I think they're called the Suvutis Empire over there by a big wood. I think it's called the Jaggled Wood or something, like the Twinkle Wood. Somewhere over there. It's and she puts her finger in her mouth and points it up like she's trying to catch the wind. It's that way, and she points toward the north.
I would know what she's talking about, right?
I don't know. Do you?
I was gonna say
You as a player and character have to figure that out.
I think she's. I feel like I know it.
I'm just gonna scream out from across the room and be like, "Twisted Woods?" Question mark.
Yeah, that place. Really, 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 really beautiful place.
That makes a lot.
I used to play inside the woods a lot, but then, well, then it wasn't so safe.
That is, I could believe that as I scratch my head.
Quinn's eyebrow starts to get raised. Hold on. What do you mean it's? What do you mean it's not safe? Or it didn't
Well,
become safe?
I didn't start living here until, I don't know, 7, 8, maybe 9 months ago. Or, no. It wasn't safe about 7 or 8 months ago, because that's when that one empire started to attack. So we ended up having to go away. And we went to the Cyrodiil Empire. I remember that one because it's got the big gray dudes with the big thing on their face that allows them to squirt water at you. It's really cool. Yeah, they're like elephant people or something, but I can't.
Luxodon.
I can't say their. Yeah, that's what they were, and they were really cool. But then stuff started to happen to them too. So then I had to go away, and I went to the place where a lot of like the trees and the fruits are. It starts with this letter, and she makes a V with her fingers. And I was there for a little while, but people got really weird and really sick from all the food, and it wasn't very safe. So they made all the orphans go to the place with all the horses, and they were really pretty horses. But then the cows started to attack them, which is really weird why a cow would start walking around with a big axe thing and starting to hurt people, but it did, and now I'm here.
Aye. Sounds more interesting than my adventures.
It was scary, especially the first time. I thought that the whole city was gonna go boom. They had some weird things that they did, but I'm here now and I'm safe. No one has messed with this city, and I kind of wish that this is where I started, because then I wouldn't have had to move so much, and then maybe I'd have a family. But I'm really hoping that you like me.
Oh, you are perfect for our family.
Do you mean it?
I mean it. You sound like you have some fun stories.
Her eyes start to water up, and she kind of hides her face. He's like, "No one's ever really liked me before. Are you sure?"
Of course. You are special, just like me. And then I turned into my wolf form.
Wow, you're a dog too? I get to have 2 dogs?
I hear this one down there. That's more of a dog than I am. But you will be protected, guaranteed.
And she's like sobbing quietly, and she's petting Snoopy on the head, not as aggressively as she was before. The mood has definitely changed a little bit for her, but she goes, "Well, I would love to be part of your family then, if you really mean it, because I don't want you to think that just because I'm different means that I'm bad. I try to hide it, but sometimes I get excited, and it scares a lot of people away."
My hand on her head. Oh, Gildred. We are very much the same than you think.
Yeah, I'm walking out of my chair now, walking up, and I'll be like, there, Grimaldi. Okay, listen, all you need is just like a master to show you what to do. Do you like fire?
Well, kinda, yeah. It's really pretty.
Well, this is only the beginning. Okay, only the beginning.
That sounds horrifying, Bicolor. Nothing involving fire would happen. Just adventures.
Yeah, maybe a little fire.
Yeah. As I put my hand on my face, and revert back to my human form.
And she kind of wipes her like bit. Okay. Well, hopefully you're not a criminal, because then that means that you can adopt me if you wanted to, and if you really wanted to. I would like it, but I guess it's sometimes, maybe I just have a sense of good things coming from you guys as a family. But are you everyone's dad, or is he your dad? And she starts pointing at like Vicavor, or well, he looks too young, and he doesn't even have like a beard or anything, so he must be like a little boy then.
I'd say we are all more so brothers. You could think as them all as uncles.
Uncles. So you're all okay. That'd be cool. I've never had an uncle.
Me neither. But the closest thing I'd had was the person that taught me what I know. I hope I could pass that same knowledge to you.
Okay. Well, I guess. Well, if you can turn into a big dog thing, what can they do if they're able to do stuff?
I'd let you. Well, Quinn, why don't you explain your talent?
Well, do you know what a druid is?
They like the trees and like they love to frolic in flowers and stuff, right?
I look at her with like kind of a blank face. Kind of sort of. But let's just say I want to protect the world or nature itself. And then I instruct her, what is your favorite thing? Like, do you have like a favorite food to eat? Anything like a smell specifically?
No. But
All right,
I do. I like animals. I especially like big bears. Have you ever seen a big bear before? They're so strong. And did you know that mama bears like to take care of their cubs forever? So it's like they have a family forever. It's really cool.
Yes, I actually did know that. But I can basically I can do this. I don't know. I'm just gonna hit her with druid craft, and then like grow some flowers somewhere around her.
Okay, so you see there's like a potted plant that has since deceased. So you take it, you take some of the dirt, and you cast Druidcraft, and a couple of budding flowers pop out. And you're like, wow, so you're one of those tree dudes.
Yes.
I've got a question then, because I heard from the other kids that you're born from mud.
Saberwolf coughs a little bit.
Did you come out of mud? I heard that the babies are made of mud, and eventually they take shape, and that's why they like the dirt so much.
You have a funny imagination there, little one.
Well, no. That's what he told me. That's what Carter said. Carter said that, and he's a smart one. Carter, he's really smart one. He left here a little while ago, but he wasn't adopted. I think he got too old. But because he's old, that means he knows things. And he said that druids, they were born in mud, and then they just become a person. And then they start to go and do stuff with trees and stuff. So and she goes up and she pokes at you, and she's like, but now you're a person, so you're not mud anymore, but you were born from it, right?
You said, no, I don't know what to say to her. Like, I just don't. And I'm looking at.
She looks over. She looks to Saberwolf and goes, Dad, I know you know that he's made of mud, right? You wouldn't lie to me. You're about to be my dad. You can't lie to me.
In all honesty, I know squat about the druids. When I seen him on funny story, I actually came across him in the past. I've just recently reunited with him. But he didn't have these certain skills before.
Whoa, so he was a regular person and then he buried himself in the mud to become one of them?
Exactly.
She looks at you. Then why are you so clean?
Yes, Gwen. Why are you so clean?
Well, you know what they say. Gotta maintain a good hygiene and eat your vegetables.
Oh, I hate vegetables.
That sounds lame, right?
Yeah. I like
Well,
fruit.
if you want to become strong like Saberwolf here, you gotta make sure you eat your veggies.
If you want to get strong like Saberwolf, you have to eat your meat. The meat! And I start flexing my muscles.
Okay. So, why is your other friend, why is he so weird in the corner?
I can hear you over here. I can hear you, okay? Okay, you're always talking about me. I can hear you, okay?
Was he getting all robotic as he's saying this?
Yeah, it was. It got like drawn out. Okay. That was really funny. Oh man. There he goes again.
Can you hear me okay now?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the After Effects setting in right there. Oh, he's a pretty special character. You should see him with that hood on.
All right. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, way better.
Okay.
That was so funny.
I was gonna.
It really was.
I forget what I was gonna say now. Continue on.
Yeah, you should see him with his hood off. Hey, he's a really funny character.
I'm gonna point
Why?
and send a message to Saberwolf and be like, hey, should we be getting this attached to this girl?
I ignore it for now. Alright. Well, I guess the decision is at hand. If we're able to make this happen, are you willing to become part of our family?
Yeah, duh. Y'all are cool. Well, he's a little weird, and she points to Vikavor, but, you know, maybe maybe he's just the weird uncle, I guess. That's fine.
Alright.
But you're still cool.
All right.
Because you want to adopt.
I'm gonna send a message to her and say, and what do you think of me?
Who said that? Wow. I heard. Hey, did you all hear that too? There was like somebody that asked what they thought about him, and maybe it's the Mudman, but I think you're pretty cool. You're just weird as well.
I say, no, me, and I'm like looking her right in the face.
You think I'm weird?
And she looks at the dog and she's like, "Oh my god, I can talk to it. These powers are so cool. I can talk to the dog." You're the best. And she starts to pet you. You're the best thing ever.
I know you're the best.
And she has this like really cheesy grin. She's like, I really like this dog. I didn't know I could speak to dogs. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Mr. Mudman, are you able to talk to dogs too? I heard that mud people could talk to dogs, and weird enough, they can talk to like flowers and bugs too. Is that true?
I can talk to him, but anybody can talk to him.
So you are a mud man. See, I knew he
I
wasn't
am a
telling
mud
the
man.
truth.
I
And I
am
say
a
out loud, Quinn, you ruined my secret.
The hell are you doing, Gerald?
My ear right now.
my bad. What did it sound like?
It sounded like someone was stringing.
Sound like you were
a
banging
band.
something, or
We've been talking about drums too much.
My bad.
But yes, indeed. He is a special buddy of mine, and I end up putting my arms around him. Yes, he's a very special friend. But out of all of us, he's the most logical one.
oh, well, that's pretty cool.
Indeed.
Smart ones are good. And you guys hear the front door open, and Kira walks up by, and he's like, so it looks like both of you are good to go for adoption, so if you want to get done with the paperwork, just meet me in my office, otherwise take your time. And he walks down the hall, and Gildred looks over his way, and then he looks over at, or she looks over at Saberwolf. She's like, oh, is this real?
Oh, man. It's real.
This is so real that we want you to go choose 2 other women or girls, little girls like yourself, that you want to come with you.
Wait. Going back to what she said. Wait, you guys, this is real?
It is as real as Snoopy eating poop.
All right. Out of character, how much longer do I have in the state?
We'll say it's done.
Okay, cool. I snapped out of it. All right.
Back to boring.
Snoopy, you're also done from your contact high, so. Or your secondhand smoke high, whatever it is.
All right.
Okay.
Time to get some children.
All right.
That's
Well,
weird.
Oh, that
But,
sounds a little weird. I'm not gonna lie about that one.
Can we take the 2 newborn girls, because they don't know what it's like to not have a family, and if I get a choice, which I really hope I do, I choose those 2, because then, well, it'll be harder, but at least they'll know what a family is, and they don't have to live their life like I did.
Hey, go ahead and grab them. I'll have a look at them.
Yeah, let's
Well-
go talk to Kira real quick.
Okay, I'll be right back. I'll go get them real fast. And she starts to run up the stairs. And Kira is in his office right now, just doing some preliminary paperwork, filling out and stuff.
All right, I'm gonna go
yes,
into his office.
Have you decided? Do you wish to adopt Gildred, and perhaps 2 others, or just her? Or have you changed your mind?
But we're definitely deciding on Gildred, and we'll take a couple of the newborns as well.
Yeah, and also, I had some more questions about that orc child.
Juke.
Yes, I've heard so much.
I would be happy to adopt him to you if that's what you wish. I will tell you though that the children have dubbed him, because I'm sure you know, Orcish tradition, they get a title once they've done some sort of act that brings them as a part of the tribe. Well, since this is technically his tribe, he has been dubbed Juke the Rotten.
Okay. How old is he?
And you want... he is a 8-year-old orc. They generally mature around age 14 or so. Sometimes it takes them a little longer, but
All right, I'll pass.
Did you just convince? Oh, never mind. I'm a dog. I said that out loud. By the way.
Kira looks over at Snoopy is like, okay, I must have gotten some of Neben's second hand or something, because I swear your dog just spoke.
I audibly, like, I verbally say woof woof.
He kind of like shakes his head. He's like, whatever, it doesn't matter. So, all right, Gildred and the two newborns then. Their names are Jada and Livy.
Jada and Livy.
We let the children decide the names of any newborns that come through, as I guess you could think of it as some sort of rite of passage, but, you know, they're the family and we're the caretakers, so it just makes more sense. Well, he starts to fill out more of the paperwork. Like I said, there is a registration fee. We will be putting this in the system, as well as making sure there are plenty of copies sent out to all the other orphanages that are still open and running businesses. That way we can guarantee that you're not going around and, you know, trying to adopt as many children as possible. It's not that it's illegal, but, well, there are rules in place because people have done it before and it's turned out to be sour, so hopefully you understand. If I could have you sign here, Mr. Hector.
Alright.
Points to a couple places.
I sign both.
Perfect. Well, he opens up a drawer, puts that record in there for now, and then he pulls out 3 more and he hands them over to you. These are the papers that are typically given at birth, and these are what you will need to show that you are in custody of Gildred, Jada, and Livy. Congratulations, and he holds out a handshake.
Alright. Thank you. And I give him the handshake back.
Okay. I'll have Gildred, or I'll help prepare Gildred and the other 2. It should only take a moment. They don't really have much, so I really hope that you can change their lives for the better. And he gives you a nod and starts to head upstairs real quick. And at this moment, like, you see Gildred come down. She's got one of the children in her arms, and she's like, this little one is named Jada. And she's got the greenest eyes that I've ever seen. And look, here, you hold her, and I'll be right back. And I'm gonna go get Livy.
Grab her. And then hold her in a cradling position.
How old are these other 2?
Infants.
They're like a month, maybe a month and a half. They are infants. And right now Jada is fast asleep, so she's not crying or anything.
Oh, look at her. Beautiful. Hey, look, Gwen. Now lean over to Gwen.
And as both of you are looking at her, you watch as she kind of stirs in her sleep, and she opens her mouth and yawns, and as she does, a snake tongue sort of flickers and then goes back, and she starts to sleep again.
What the hell?
Would you look at that? Another special one in our hands.
I kind of examine. Can I see one of those? I guess the birth certificate of this one.
Sure.
Does she smell human?
Yeah, I was gonna look.
Go ahead and roll perception.
Oh,
So she does
advantage.
smell human, but you have, like, there's another scent that is with her. And as you're trying to put two and two together, you can't really think of anything except for that Saberwolf sort of smells the same.
Okay.
Does the birth certificate mention anything of race or anything like that?
So it says that she's a human girl, and that she was found outside of the quarantine.
Oh,
This one's a special one.
indeed.
I get a bit of a vibe of something similar to my situation, don't you think?
Yeah, this is a very, very strange one indeed.
Are you sure that we don't want two completely human girls?
They didn't specify.
Wait, I mean,
Maybe we should not discuss this here while
true.
we're still around authority.
And here's Livy.
I grab or pick up Libby.
Grabber. Mine.
Grabs her by the back of her head. Like, yeah, what is this? Can I roll a perception check to examine?
You just went robotic for me. I don't know if that happened for anyone else.
Yeah,
But
it
I
happened
heard
for
a
me too.
perception check. Okay. Perception check to see, like, look at her.
Yeah, look at her and examine every inch of her.
Okay. Yeah, go for
No, every-
it. So your perception check, as you're sort of like holding her up and stuff, like she's sound asleep. But the weird thing is, you notice that her chest is not moving at all. You put your ear up to her, and it doesn't sound like she's breathing. But she starts to like move around a
What
little
the-
bit as you start to move, and you see her like scrunch her eyes and just like cuddle. But still, there's no visible incantation that she is actually breathing.
I look at Quinn. Another special one.
I want to examine the certificate for Livy's.
Okay. It says her birthplace is unknown. She was left at the front door of the orphanage. Race is human.
Alright, out of character here, what's your guys' thoughts on abandoning everything we're working for and starting like an X-Men class?
I'm not even gonna lie. That crossed my mind, and I was gonna be totally with it if Vikavor got a child.
And really just steer this campaign off course and make Brady have to like do Sims Simulator.
I was totally with it.
I like it. I mean, the orc was a little young for what I wanted, but we could do it.
Dude, you're not allowed to say that shit. Not online.
No.
Well, we have a few special ones. This one especially. I put my hand on Gildred's head again.
Yeah. I was told that you signed the papers and that you're now my family. Is this real?
Si, señorita.
Is
She grabs you around the leg and buries her head, and you can start to feel like a wet spot on that part of your leg, and you can visibly see her like sort of shuddering as she's crying.
I'm smiling, looking down and smiling at her, but I have like a kind of like a fuck face. Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah, that shit face. Still smiling down, looking at her, but I'm like, kind of regretting this.
All right. I guess
Kier comes back after 5-10 minutes, and he's gathered up like the very little belongings that they have. But he has it all in like a small little backpack. And he's like, well, here's all that they had. I also put in a bit of feeding formula as well as a couple bottles for the little ones. Make it a little easier for you all since, they're not your children. You need to feed them the formula. Do you know how to sort of take care of a newborn? I think they feed... We feed these two about 4 times a day, about every 3 hours or so, or if they start to cry, try to feed them. But it's just a little bit of the warm water to make sure all of that formula ends up getting dissolved, and then you just feed them slowly. Gildred knows how to do it. She's been actually helping out a lot with these little ones. She's grown quite attached.
Yeah, I used to do my brother like this when he was a young one.
You have a brother?
Yes. Hopefully one day you'll get to meet him.
Well, I hope so too. Did he run away, or why is he not here?
Let's just say he's finding more about himself again. We kind of got split up.
Well, I hope he's okay.
Yeah, knowing him, he's okay.
Good. Mr. Kier, thank you very much for everything that you've done for all 3 of us, and I really hope that I hope it doesn't make it too hard on you guys with me leaving, because I know that I helped a lot, but maybe this will give the other kids some hope, because well, if there's more people like these guys out there, then they would like to adopt other kids to try to help make sure that this place doesn't have to be around. Not that it's a bad place, it's just, well, we want a family. And Kier gets down to her level, and he's like, thank you, Gildred. We will do just fine, and I'm going to work extra hard to make sure that I can fulfill your request. And he smiles at her, stands back up. Well, gentlemen, if you have any issues or anything like that, please don't hesitate to come back. Other than that, congratulations.
Thanks. I do have a quick question. Mr. Kerr, I don't know if you would know this, but like, what's I was reading one of the certificates, and one of them's from the quarantine.
Well, that's where the god picked her up. She was left outside, basically to die, I think. But, people do weird things with children that they accidentally have, and I really wish that they would just take the time to bring them to us so we can at least give them some sort of a future. But it's not unheard of to walk around the poor portions of the city, or poor areas of the city, and find the corpse of a baby.
Oh God. All right. Dang. Also, would you know anywhere to find a magical shop?
Not that I can tell you. As far as I'm concerned, there's not really... Yes, there's magical things, but I never heard of any shop that's just open for sale.
Yeah, okay. I knew that was a wild card, but okay, thank you. I start to walk out.
Good, thank you again.
And I grabbed the bag too. That had all the stuff.
Okay.
And I begin.
So you guys exit.
I give Kier a big hug and then walk out.
And he's like, oh, ha! And he pats you on the back. Yes. Well, have a happy life, Gildred. And tell the other two to come and visit sometime once they're older. She goes, thanks, Cure. Bye. She runs out the door and wow. She spins around in place and she's like, so, where do you live?
Well, we're like we said in there, we are travelers. So for right now, we are staying in it until we're ready to leave.
I've heard stories that they have all types of food in the room for you to eat.
Yes.
Yeah. You can have any food or drinks you find in Saberwolf's room.
Wow, that's so cool.
You know what? Yes, Gildred, you can. This is a special day. We should celebrate.
Yeah. Where should we go?
Well, first we have to make a quick run. I actually ordered some things, and I'm sure those preparations are complete. Have to go pick those things up.
Okay. Let's go do it. And she runs up beside you and grabs your hand. And starts to walk with you.
Okay. I'm gonna. So they're walking together. Snoopy and I we can kind of walk further back, right, behind them, out of earshot. And Quinn too.
That's
Quinn's walking up,
perfectly
too.
fine. Quinn has I think Quinn has Livy with him.
Yeah,
Saberwolf has Jada and Gildred.
Oh, but they're just babies, right? They don't understand anything.
Correct.
Okay.
At least as far as we know.
Okay. So I'm just gonna go back with Snoopy and just kind of walk further back with Snoopy.
Okay.
What's up?
Hey, so are we gonna get rid of these kids pretty soon here, or what?
I thought that's what we're doing right now. Are we not?
I think we're going to the forge first to go get his weapons. We can do that, but I don't know. I don't really want to babysit all the time, unless
Yeah,
these
me neither. Let's
unless
just
these
get
kids.
this horrible deed done and then get it out, then forget about it.
Yeah, unless they're benefiting us somehow with like fighting for us or doing something, we need to get rid of them.
Can use them as. Never mind.
Were you about to say human shields?
I was gonna say bait for.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna go walk. I'm gonna walk up to Saberwolf now. Saberwolf, are we going to the forge or where are we going right now?
Heading to the forge first. I have to pick up my things I've ordered.
All right. And then maybe we can go near Holly Oak later. That's a nice area.
Yes, it is.
Wow.
Okay.
Holly Oak. Is this where the Mudman lives?
No. It's we have some friends. Eventually we'll meet.
Yeah, they'd
But,
love to meet you.
I want to send a message to Saberwolf. Say you can tell them this is where their moms are.
I message back. That is a terrible idea. But yes, there are some friends there. Not too much of a rush. We'll visit them soon.
I message him back.
Okay.
They might want to meet their moms, but okay.
Yes, we have some. We'll say that they could be your new aunties. There's some new friends that we met recently.
Wow, I get aunts and uncles. That's awesome. Can't wait to meet them.
Yeah. What would you think about if sometimes we leave you with the ants? They would love to meet you.
Well, I guess it depends, but I'm sure that's fine if you guys have things you have to do. As long as you come back.
Yeah.
There's something extra as well. I believe they're just as talented as you.
She kind of like stops and she's like, whoa.
Right.
That's cool.
They would know more about you than we would.
True.
Maybe they
Well,
can
that
actually
sounds
teach
like
you
a
how
plan to
to,
me.
Yeah, maybe they can actually teach you how to, control your gift.
And she kind of shakes her head. Okay, well that sounds fun. You had to go do something though first, so
Let's do that. All right. We start heading towards the
Warforged, and once you get there, your whip dagger is ready, as well as your side baton.
Oh, ay, cabron. Hey, look at that. You guys really did a good job.
Well, of course, kinda, what we do. Hopefully they're up to your specifications, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you again.
So add to
So
your
just,
inventory a whip dagger with silk, or a whip dagger of silk, I guess you could call it. I don't know what exactly I'll change about it. I'll get back to you before next week, though. And then, of course, your side baton. It's just a normal one. For flavor, it works kind of like a police baton where you press a button and you can whip it and it extends, I guess.
Perfect.
From there, what do you guys wish to do?
Let's
what time
go
is it?
pawn these children off for favor.
It is about 6 o'clock, 6:30.
Okay. Yeah, let's I'm down to go do that.
Yeah, let's go. So there, it is the Holy Oak, right? Is where they're nearby.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wave down our good driver.
Okay, and he just happens to be in the area, Ollivander. He's like, ah, come for the free ride, right?
Yes, sir. And we're going to Holyoke.
All right, be there in a jiffy, and it only takes a 10-minute drive or so to get over there. And you guys do get outside of Hollyoak. Do you want me to wait by for you, or are you going to be a while?
You can wait by for a little bit, and I give him 10 go.
Okay. Oh, yeah, definitely. I'll do that. Be right here.
Right. Come on, Gildred. Yeah, we're gonna meet your new aunties.
Okay, very cool.
I started heading towards
So, yeah.
that small.
So you head up towards Hollyoak, and you notice that the it's starting to get dim outside. The sun is setting, and at the tree you can see one of the windows has like a light peering out of it, and you can see like some sort of I guess some sort of like metal object protruding outside of Hollyoak that's allowing smoke to go by or go out of the inside of the tree. And as you start walking forward, suddenly the door opens up and Nile walks out. Hello! And what do we have here? Is that...
Auntie
is that...
Nile.
Yes, it is Saberwolf and friends, and it looks like you've got 3 others. And you hear a bunch of movement coming from inside, and Natasana and Akita like peer outside, and they're like, you can see this smile on their face, and they're kind of like excited. Who do we have here then? This sweet little girl. And she gets close and bends down, and you can watch as she's like examining Gildred, and Gildred's kind of like a little weirded out, and kind of like, why is she doing this?
She's just excited to meet you. We actually talked about coming to adopt not too long before. She's just excited to meet the new family.
I heard you're my new auntie, and she's like, oh yes, yes, I will be your new auntie for sure. Did you all tell her exactly what we discussed, or
Just that she could be staying with you for a little bit.
perfect? Yes, Gildred, we heard that you have some very special talents, and we were offering your new parents, or parent, I guess, that we could potentially help you learn your powers and use them to do good things for other orphanages. Does that sound like a grand plan to you? Wow, is that really what's going on? She's looking up at you, saying the saber wolf. So,
Both my hands
okay,
on the shoulder.
I mean, it's a little weird, but that's fine, I guess. I'll live with you after I learn how to do my powers and stuff.
And I squat down on her level. But don't worry. I will come visit you as often as I can.
Okay, I know you have a lot of stuff to travel. You said your name was Nile? Yes, dear. But you can just call me Auntie. Okay, how long do you think I'll be living with you for while I learn? She goes, I guess it really depends on how quickly you pick up on how to control this power that you have. It could take maybe a couple weeks at least, but it could take the better part of a year. Do you have her birth forms and such as well?
Si, senora. And then I wave towards Gwen. Hey, Gwen. The papers?
Oh yes. So I go up to her, hand her the bag.
Okay.
And this should have all the forms and everything in it. And then also, don't forget about, and I point towards the table, that's Jada, and this is Livy.
Perfect. Jada and Livia.
These two are
Livy?
also quite special as well.
I'm sure we'll figure out what you mean, but she puts the bag down after opening the files and, yes, Gildred. 12 years of age. You should be 13 then soon. Well, we'll have to do something special for your birthday. And she puts everything away. What kind of cake do you like? And she has her hand behind Gildred's back, and she starts ushering her towards the oak. Akita, Natasana, if you could get Jada and Livy, please. And they run outside and, essentially present their arms to hold the babies.
Yeah, I give them the baby.
Okay.
And hand her Jada. And then I squat back down to Gildred and say, yes, like I said, they know more than I do about your talents. Don't worry. I'll come back to visit you. And you'll go on adventures with us. And I'll teach you everything I know about Kung Fu and the art of being a luchador. I could maybe even make you a mask. How's that sound?
Wow, a whole mask for me? That'd be cool. Yeah. Yes, I'm sure a mask would be perfect for you, but we have a lot to learn, and unfortunately, tonight is a little too dark to start. How about dinner first? We've been cooking a special pie. One of our famous meat pies.
Would that be okay for us to join?
If you have your own food, Akita eats quite a lot, and we only have enough to feed us three and Gildred.
Ah, I know when we're not wanted. That's fine. It's okay. Hey, I think we'll head towards the inn for the rest of the night.
Well,
Gildred.
stop by whenever you wish to say hello.
All right, Gildred. And I give her a hug. Go in for a.
And she hugs you back. I can't wait to see you soon. I'm really hungry though.
So before like they leave too, and after Sable gives a hug, I want to get on one knee on her level, and I tell her, make sure if you do need anything, and I'm gonna give her a honey pop, and then
Okay.
so if you need anything and I can't make it or anything, if you keep this, my master will come to you.
Wow.
Just be
You have
sure
a
you
master?
present this. Mm-hmm.
Take this as well. And then I give her a notebook and one of my pens. If you ever have any thoughts that you want to get out of your head, feel free to write in this.
Okay, that's awesome. I've never had a journal. Yes, we'll make sure to make your first entry tonight. You can tell them your feelings about how being adopted has made you feel. Well, the food's getting cold, so we'll be on our way. Thanks.
Goodbye. Give her
Come
another
back
hug.
in a few days and we'll have a little something for you to pick up. Sound good?
Perfectly fine. Gildred. I widen out my arms for another hug.
She gives you another one. She's like, that's awful lot of hugs.
Welcome to the
He's
family.
just happy to have a daughter.
All right.
Anyway.
Take care of her.
Oh, we will.
And I start walking
She
away.
starts to
ahead
walk.
of everybody else.
Okay. And as you start walking away, Nile and Gildred enter the house, and you see Gildred for a moment like turn around and look, and she's got this kind of confused look on her face, and then the door closes behind her.
And Saberwolf is looking really concerned.
Not our problem. Let's go.
Yeah. Come on, let's pick this up a little bit. Let's go.
Yeah, our part is done, Saberwolf. Let's get out of here.
Yeah. Except for where's our payment?
We got to come back for it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll come back tomorrow for it.
Hopefully we don't come back tomorrow and she gives us a couple new fresh meat pies.
I don't want that.
Well, we'll cross that bridge if we come to it.
Well, I'm just saying we need more payment than a couple meat pies. I take those too, but we need better stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And we'll cross that bridge if it comes to it.
Okay, sounds good.
And
Well,
we end up
I really hope that you guys understand what you've just done.
Who's that?
As you're walking down the path a little ways, you look around and you look up, and inside of a tree you see this woman sitting there sort of like kicking her feet.
Silk told me that I should talk to you all. I am Lariara. But,
Well, met, traveler.
As she jumps off, you can see this woman who's got her face has these sort of reddish eyes. Her skin is a sort of darkish purpley tone. But above her eyes, you see two other sets of eyes. much like a spider's.
I am Lariara, one of the High-Drow priestesses of Loth. Pleasure to meet you all finally. After Silk had told me that she had made new friends, I honestly didn't believe her, but now I can see that you all are quite naive.
And why is that? As I have my hands on my waist.
Well, I'll be blunt, you just adopted children for somebody and just gave them to them. That's a little strange, don't you think?
I've seen Stranger Things.
Oh, which season?
I'm just joking. She doesn't say that.
She has to break the fourth wall real quick.
Roasted, yep.
I'm sure you have, especially with that extra face that you carry around.
Yep.
I take it you've met Gratz before? You too there, werewolf.
Yeah, what of it?
I just want to make sure that you all understand that you are champions of Gratz. Perhaps not by choice, but you are champions. And I don't plan to do anything about it now, but I am a champion of Loth, so I was just scoping out the opportunity. Lucky you, though, I'm not in the mood to fight, not tonight. I'm quite tired, but plus, getting you off guard like this would be too easy.
Yeah, but
Just
since you seem to care so much about those children, you should go save them yourself. It sounds like.
No, I do not wish to save them. They have met their fate, or are in the process of meeting their fate, thanks to you. And in all honesty, this is something that Loth quite enjoys. Perhaps maybe if you were to ever lose your curse, maybe you want to join Loth's army. Shouldn't be too long now before we are ready.
Well, quick question. How many of you are there? Champions, I mean.
Of Loth, there's, I believe, just me.
That's new. Hey, you seem pretty friendly yourself. Well, my name is Saberwolf. It's nice to meet you, potential challenger, future challenger. How should I call you?
You may call me Lariara, High Priestess of Loth. Or, if you wish, you can call me whatever you really wish. I would tread carefully, though. Don't offend me, please. I don't wish to kill you yet.
Oh,
No fight.
I was gonna give a quick compliment, but I'll hold my tongue.
Well, I just wanted to see my potential opponents. I'm not too worried about it anymore. I had heard that maybe there are some others that should be arriving within some time. I believe the Chosen of Dagon is on the move. I can't wait to meet her. Until we meet again.
And you watch as she holds up a hand and a silken thread shoots from her palm and grabs onto the tree, much like Spider-Man, I guess, and then she hoists herself up into the tree. And she starts jumping from branch to branch. And some of these jumps are 30 feet, and she's able to just jump across. Eventually, she jumps onto the wall and onto the other side, out of sight.
This is Diggers, am I right?
Yeah, I'm gonna look towards the wolf and be like, man, why couldn't we get a cool curse?
You know what? I'm just concerned with how many hostile women we're running into. First, the redhead, and now we have this one. How interesting.
Well, let's go get into some real trouble.
Well, let's check on Silk, see how she's doing first. Let her know of our encounter with her friend.
Yeah, let's do that, but let's not take too long because I'm not feeling too chatty right now.
Let's see.
I feel kind of hungover a little bit, coming down a little bit off something. I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm feeling cranky.
Oh, because I know exactly what's wrong with you. But we'll talk back at the end. But let's head up to Silk's hideout real quick. See what she's.
Okay.
I'll start
So-
walking towards Taven.
You start heading over there, and as Silk had told you, there's webbing all over the place that you're starting to notice now. Now that you're kind of like, sort of looking out for it, and you can hear sort of like, you can hear movement coming from the cave. Hi, did you meet Lariara yet?
Yes, quite an entertaining one, in fact.
Yeah, I don't know what she meant by, feasting on you, but, well, I guess maybe you're her next snack.
Apparently, well, you know, my predicament with my skin condition is due to something similar to her ability.
Well, there's a difference. I think that hers was given to her as a gift as opposed to forced upon her. She wanted that.
Yeah, Saberwolf, I'm pretty sure she, being a high priestess of the demon lord that she serves, means she's the reason it got summoned.
Yeah,
You
potato,
were
potato.
there. That's
Tomato, tomato. Either way, we might get acquainted with your friend Lariara, quite soon. From the sounds
I
of
think so. But I told her to make sure that she knows that you're a nice guy, so, and that you're bringing me moths someday. So I don't think she'll hurt you too bad.
it. If I had the coin for every time a woman said that. Yeah.
You're funny.
Yes.
Well,
But yes,
did you
just
want
came to check on-
something?
Just wanted to see how you were doing.
I'm doing good, and I'm glad that you care enough to come visit me 2 times in a single day.
it was like 2 hours ago.
I know, right?
But yes.
We've spent more real time than game time. This is the craziest
I know,
thing
right?
that's ever happened.
There's a lot of stuff going on, yeah.
How does that work?
But yes. Well, we just wanted to say hi once again, even though it's been quite a short time. But yes, we still have my word on those moths. You'll see them.
Okay, that sounds cool. I like that.
All right. Well, you
I,
rest easy.
oh, sorry. When we walk away, I have something to say to Quinn.
Okay.
Oh, and I will let Saberwolf finish up. I thought you had finished.
Yeah, I'm good now. I start walking away.
Okay, bye. I asked Quinn, like, hey man, could you polymorph a creature into the giant moths for her? God,
You said polymorph.
Sorry,
Something-
my Discord is really having some issues. I keep dropping and jumping back in. I asked if you could polymorph a creature into a giant moth. I think I dropped out again, didn't I?
No,
I heard.
I heard you.
I mean, potentially, yeah, I could do that.
Anyways, let's go ruin our lives from the Joker. Because we keep making more and more enemies. All we need is more.
And I kind of don't want to
Yes.
get her that giant monster. So.
I'm sure Mr. Sir can't wait to see us later today.
Can we do a time skip reading?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I don't know if y'all are down for that.
Alright, so where are we going? We're heading to the palace for Black Market real quick.
So currently
need
it's about
anything.
7 o'clock, and Snoopy would know that businesses start to close around this time.
People are starting to close up, so I think we should head back to our motel or Holiday Inn or whatever, and then
What is a
On our-
Holiday Inn?
right when it's about to be midnight, we head out to the Ruby Castle or whatever it's called.
I'm down with that.
Alright, let's go and get some rest. Lord knows I need it.
So if you want to do a short rest, it only takes 10 minutes, so I don't think any of you have hit dice that you need to roll. Actually, I guess Snoopy's missing literally 3 HP. But you
Well,
can
now-
you
I'm
can
gonna
chill
drink
out.
I'm gonna drink my superior healing potion instead.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. So you guys want to time skip to midnight or right before midnight?
Right before midnight.
Not too time skip till midnight. Oh shit, we're late.
Yeah, we're pressing. Like,
Whoops.
we're treating this like
Sorry.
I
I just couldn't get my mascara right. Okay. So you guys head to the Golden Square, and there you see the Ruby Palace. It's not actually made out of rubies or anything. It's made out of like a red brick structure, but it's the only sort of like reddish building in the area. You can hear some talking happening in the side alleyway.
Can I do a perception check?
Sure. It's indistinct. You can't really say, or you can't really tell what's being said, but they're very short conversations. But they sound to be coming from the alleyway that's behind the Ruby Palace.
Can I listen in to see if I pick up Thieves' Cant?
Indistinct from this distance, but when you
Still
get
too far.
closer, sure.
Okay. Yeah, I'd
I'm
say we
gonna-
should move over that way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, Snoopy, do you want to be invisible right now or no?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
These are my dudes.
All right.
Try
Okay.
my best to not look like a narc. You lead the way, Snoopy.
Okay. I lead the way and kind of head over to those people in the alleyway.
Okay. As you get into the alleyway, you start walking closer and closer, and you can hear them talking, and you can hear the thieves' cant. Essentially, they're saying, "Do you have your symbol of passage?" And eventually, they're like, "Yeah, I do." And you see them like show something in their hand, and then like retract it really quickly, and then they kind of do like a head nod, and they walk into what looks to be just a plain wall, but they walk straight through it, almost like platform 9 3/4, essentially.
Okay.
So there's like some sort of illusion going on here that people are walking through. And as you get a little bit closer, so
hello.
you made it out of the shadows, right in front of you, actually, as if he was leaning against the wall, but your eyes are decent. especially with the moonlight out right now, and there was nobody there. So, it looks like you're up to the job after all.
Hey, how's it going, Mr. Sir?
It's going well. I understand you've had a very busy day. How exciting.
Busy indeed. A lot more than my heart can handle.
Well, first things first, do you still have that coin I gave you?
See,
Spent it.
You're a funny one.
I pull out the
Well,
coin.
perfect. You'll need to show that to the doorman over there to get entry. What you're about to do is very simple. He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out a small little brown baggie. Take this, and he tosses it to any one of you that wants to catch it.
I'll grab it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So he tosses it. Snoopy jumps up in the air, grabs it with his mouth. The moment it touches your flesh, you feel a magic surge go through. That little coin purse is essentially what you're going to be using to complete the job. My benefactor requires an item that's going to be on this auction, but it would be too suspicious for him to be purchasing it himself. So, what I need you to do is make the biggest bid, but don't go overboard, please. There's also enough in there to where you should be able to purchase maybe a single item that is also being on the auction for yourselves as part of your reward. The item you're looking for. Oh?
You say don't go overboard. What?
Have you
what's
ever been a part of an auction before?
I know how auctions work, but I don't know overboard.
So, as
for
long as you
such-
don't overbid somebody, you should be fine. I don't want to
Okay.
hear somebody call out for 5,000 gold and you immediately go to 50,000 because,
Oh,
well,
understandable. No worries.
Yeah.
I was just making sure you didn't want us to reach a limit.
oh no. But whatever item you buy for yourselves, also keep in mind that this is not your money. The more you spend of this money on yourselves, the less of a reward you get. Now, the item in
Okay.
question, from what we've been able to tell, is a tablet made of jade. Very ancient and impossible to read from what we've been told, but my benefactor wants it very, very badly. So make sure that you bid the highest. I will make sure that we show an interest, but we do not ultimately achieve it. Otherwise, try to keep a low profile. There are many leaders of other organizations at this auction tonight. It would be a shame for you to draw attention to yourselves.
Question is, are we able to look at the items that are up for auction before the auction?
Oh, you'll see how it all works.
Okay.
Now, don't follow directly behind me. Give me about a 30-second head start, and then come in. And don't sit anywhere near me either. Can't give off the ruse. And after this is all done, I will meet you back at your inn to retrieve the item as well as the little coin purse there. And I will drop off your reward the following morning.
Fair enough. All right, sounds like a plan.
Very
All right, gents.
good.
Let's do it. Oh,
He turns around. He walks up to the doorman, and he walks straight past him. The doorman doesn't even bat an eye that he's there, and he walks in. And then 30 seconds pass by.
dude, he just went by. Hello, he's wearing a mask.
So you say that to the doorman?
No, I'm like asking my friends. Like
Okay.
the doorman he's wearing a mask. Anybody can. Anyways, let's go.
All right.
Hang on, Soupy. Yeah, I have a thing. Can we look inside that was it like a satchel or a change purse that Soupy has?
Yeah, it's just like a little coin purse.
It's a purse of holding, I would assume.
And,
Okay, you guys
Can
want
I
to look
open
in
it
it?
and look inside it?
Yeah, you open it up and you reach in and you can pile an exorbitant amount of money out.
Okay.
But
Nice.
Well, I don't do that.
yeah.
I to make myself look as epic as possible and as part of the crowd as possible, I put on the manta ray robe,
Okay.
cloak, and put the hood on.
Okay.
Yeesh. Okay.
So you walk up,
So-
and the doorman looks at you, and he essentially says, "Do you have your rite of passage?" But to the rest of you, he's saying, "Good night, or good night. We'll see you next time, I guess."
And I like look towards Saberwolf. I'm like, show him the coin.
And I pull out the coin and flash it to him real quick.
And he nods his head, and then with his arms crossed, he uses his right hand and he does a thumb behind his shoulder. Go ahead and enter then. And good luck.
Give a soft nod and start walking.
Okay. As you walk through the illusionary wall, you feel different. Like there's something about your physical being that's been altered in some way. You don't feel at home at all. As if actually it's a lot like when you went from the material plane to Barovia. It's exactly how you feel, except for not this sense of dread.
Okay.
As you walk forward, you see what is made out of complete rubies, the Ruby Palace. You see a door, or you see a set of double doors in front of the Ruby Palace where people are coming from all different places. As you look around, there's a bunch of different, like, sort of outcroppings that seem to have, like, you can see through them, and they've got sort of like, you can see the street that you guys just came from, but then you look at a different one of these locations and it is a completely different place. It's like a desert. Another one looks like a snowfield or something like that. Your best guess is this is some sort of like local hub that is connected to a bunch of other like portals or something like that. As you walk up there, the guards standing there don't move very often. But you can tell that even though you can't see their eyes, they're watching everything going on. As you walk into the foyer, a lot of chatter is going on. There are a lot of people here. A lot of them are wearing some sort of like covering over their face. A lot of them have really like immaculate looking jewelry or robes and stuff like that. But the one thing you notice as you walk forward into the foyer is there is a woman dressed in sort of like this reddish flowery looking dress with reddish hair that's really curled, and a gentleman with pointed ears, very pale skin, and some heavy armor standing there. And as you walk in, the gentleman points his nose up in the air and starts to sniff, turns around. Well, I have smelled you before. And he licks his lips, and that's where we're going to end tonight's session. This is the gentleman that licks his lips.
Oh, that's not good.
Bruh.
Okay.
And this is the woman that he's accompanied with.
Bruh.
Oh my god.
So hang on a second. You guys looking at this? So 20 feet.
I've seen him.
Let's see.
I don't know him. I mean, Saberwolf doesn't know him at all. But I've seen him.
Okay.
And I saw him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there we go.
There you go. Take out this whole
Wolf, do
section.
you know that person?
Nice. Okay. That's what we're looking at.
Do we know this person?
Brady, can you go back to that map real quick?
We don't
Sure.
know. Kevin has seen
I
him.
want to look at it real quick.
Oh.
Yeah, go for it. Go ahead.
My guess is he's part of my story.
Kevin and Gerald know exactly who he is.
Yeah, and
Also, Balron
Yeah.
didn't make it with us today, so he's not actually there.
So, hey, Brady, does Snoopy know who that is?
No. Snoopy's never met him
okay.
before.
Neither was Picker War.
So I
Nope.
don't-
Okay.
None of you
Man, it's a
guys
whole
have
bunch-
met him before.
Not at all. But Kevin knows who he is. You about to get into some bullshit.
Okay, I'm done looking at it.
Okay.
No, but,
You'll get plenty of time next session to look at it, so.
I was just like curious.
Yeah, all I
Man,
know
we are
is,
still on the 30th of chess, guys.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, no day has passed. Like, there's just so much shit going on.
Well, you
Yeah.
spent like 2 hours talking to a girl that we're gonna throw away.
Bro, like,
Yeah,
bro,
true.
Saber Wolf is like feeling some type of way right now, so he's not about to take shit at the moment. I don't know. I don't
Bro,
know.
just take what that chick said at face value. I mean, she said
Yeah.
She's
there to
literally
fight
our
you.
enemy, so she can suck
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
I'm gonna end my stream. I'll be right back. All right. Hopefully, y'all had a good old time. A lot more NPCs got introduced today, and of course, you know, who knows what's gonna happen with poor Gildred and Jada and Livy. I guess we'll find out. But until next time, peace.